All right, this is Wild Phil with Wild Phil Zosby. Let's get wild today. Who do we got? None other than Chicagoland legends Peter Christopher and Rudy Ruiz.
The fuck he just call you?
Yeah, he called me Peter Christopher.
Fuck, dude. That was not planned.
That was amazing. Peter Daniel.
Peter Daniel. Dude, I keep getting those fucking... All right, I'm going to redo this shit.
No,
all right.
Keep it.
No, leave it in.
All right,
Keep it.
Peter Daniel. Dude, it's two white dude names that I can't fucking like. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, and then you called me Puerto Rican earlier,
Yeah.
which was amazing.
Yeah, late ass.
Oh god, dude.
I'll be there in 10 minutes. You're here 30 minutes.
Here,
It
let me,
was 20 minutes. I had to stop for gas.
dude. All right, dude. I'm fucking. I feel like such a fucking asshole, man.
It's all good.
All right. Anyways, let's get this going. What the fuck? So, like, I always start this out. Like, you guys got any crazy shit that happened to you? Any wild shit in the past 2 weeks? In the past week, you want to share?
Wild shit? No, dude.
This fucking guy called you Peter Christopher, right?
Yeah, that might be the wildest thing there. That's about it. It's like nothing wild happens to me. I'm married with 2 kids. Like, we just do soccer all week. Like,
Yeah, I think that question's more appropriate for me.
Yeah. What's the wild
Jesus.
shit?
It wasn't wild, but there's always, like we talked earlier about how we're like addicted to drama, or drama just happens.
Yeah, dude.
around
Yeah. We were talking about this before. I had a person kind of open my eyes, be like, Phil, you are addicted to drama, and the sooner you accept that, like, the sooner things will get better. Because he's like every time I meet you, it's like you're having a falling out with a new person, or you have a new best friend each week. Yeah,
you need to, like, admitting it is the first step.
Yeah. So I'm admitting it right here. I probably shouldn't fucking put my hand up like that as a white
perfect,
guy.
actually. I love it.
But
It's too bad this wall isn't green, so we can put like a whole giant swastika behind it.
yeah.
In post.
Fight. Right.
The mullet's not helping.
Someone's gonna shoot me in the ear through
You
the
just
window.
flanked by 2 light-skinned Mexicans on either side. One of them doesn't even have hair. Everything about that was amazing.
Oh God. But yeah, man, I gotta. But you were saying that, yeah, we were talking about the whole addicting to drama, right? Where's that?
What was your question?
Oh, I was just saying if there's any fucking.
Stoned are you?
I'm high as fuck.
Oh, I was just saying if there's any wild shit that.
Oh,
happened.
crazy shit that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Colorado for 2 weeks. The first day I get there, I sent Pete and Excel this on the group thread message, whatever. And I'm the painter, right? Union painter. So we're spraying the block filler outside of this Walmart in Centennial, Colorado. They always assign me the more difficult areas, like the shipping and receiving areas, where there's truckers going in and out.
Yeah.
So I'm on this huge boom lift that goes up like 50, 60 feet. But you've seen boom lifts. They're fucking huge, right?
Yeah, the scissor shit.
Yeah, no. The boom lifts, where they got the huge, like, compartment with big 4 wheels, and you have to drive it. It's got the basket that goes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on one of those. And so it takes like 10 minutes just to navigate the shit into the space and to get it out. It takes a while. So anyway, I got to be cognizant of the truckers coming in and out so I can get out of their way. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. So there's a gas-powered sprayer on the concrete. I'm like, I don't know, 20, 30 feet up in the air. And I'm spraying block filler. And all of a sudden this trucker just walks up and he just points at the pump. It's a gas pump. It's got loud-ass muffler and everything. So he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He's just pointing at the machine. And I kind of glanced over and I go like this, and he points at the machine again. I'm like, what do you want? And he just snaps, dude. He's like, move the fucking machine so I can pull that fucking trailer out of the fucking port and all this other shit. I'm like, man, who the fuck are you talking to? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I go, I don't play charades, you deaf motherfucker. I'm like, why are you getting upset? And then in the moment, I don't mean to offend nobody, I'm just like, next time open your fucking mouth like you did for your boyfriend this morning and say some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? He's like, you little motherfucker, you come down off that fucking lift. So I'm trying to lower the lift while we're talking shit, but it's slow as fuck. So
you got to talk the whole time?
Yeah.
Like,
and you just hear, doot. He's like, oh, you fuck off. And he just walks
should have been
away.
like, I'm bringing myself down to your level.
He's like, oh, fuck off. And he walks. I'm like, no, wait, sir. You'll see.
Dude, I know
You
this.
didn't even have the patience to wait.
I can say this from being a Polak with English second language. I've worked in so many places where Polish or Mexican or whoever, like people who can't speak English well, they don't want to fucking communicate, and then they get angry at you. That's happened to me so many fucking times where I'm just where like I almost like drove a forklift fork through the guy's van, and because I was asking him like, should I keep moving forward? Should I keep? It's like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, why didn't you fucking tell me the fork's pushing your fucking like wall out like a pop can? You know, oh man, you know what I had recently that was funny was I have a stepkid who's 16, and I was just kind of bitching to my boss. I was like, dude, it's fucking hard as fuck to find jobs and shit, And he's like, yeah, I mean, it's the people are picky. And I'm like, I'm just curious. Like, I had like 15 years of welding experience, and I'm working as a warehouse forklift guy at a carpet place. What made you think I had like experience? And he's like, Phil, the length of your mullet says otherwise. Like, that's why. Like, I know you got this, bro. And I'm not even joking, dude. Like, there was one day where it was. Do you remember that day? It was this winter where they're like, "Yo, man, it's gonna snow like fucking 4 feet in an hour."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That day, my boss is like, "Yo, man, you better like get your lunch now because you're gonna get stuck." I took that forklift through the Portillo's drive-through. It was fucking great. Like,
Shut up.
they were so confused when they were giving me
No
my
shit. Like, I don't.
And you know what's even funnier? They got pissed off because like when I ordered the beef, I like lowered the forks for them to put it on because I'm like, dude, it's so cold right now. That beef is so piping hot. It's gonna be like, when like kids throw boiling water in the air.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen in my fucking beef.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be a gravy juice icicles in the air, like so. But yeah, wait. So like that's the wildest shit that happened in the past 2 weeks.
What?
That's the wild shit they have with a boom.
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ. ADD.
I'm sorry.
I can see him just spacing out. Like, he's not listening to Phil at all.
I'm sorry.
I'm like watching him over here.
I'm
it's
trying.
so hard
I'm
to take
trying.
him seriously with the butterfly glasses on.
Hey, bro, these are fucking cool.
Well, that's fine, but it's also weird to look at because I'm not used to seeing him with
Yeah,
them.
when he fucking first got here, I'm
was
just saying
just like,
some basic ass story about smoking weed and all this other shit. I smoke vapes in my condo, so no one bitches, but every now and then I don't give a fuck. I'll just light up a joint, and then he just starts fucking bawling. I was laughing. I'm like, he's like, oh, I just realized your fucking sunglasses are butterfly shaped.
Well,
I'm
because
like,
something looked weird.
Yeah,
And I didn't know what it was.
It doesn't match the rest of you, so it's like
doesn't.
You're like an anime character that's morphing. Like it's you're morphing into a caterpillar or something.
That's fine.
But
I'll
Like
take
a
it.
Pokemon or something.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it was just so weird to see the butterfly glasses. It cracked me up. And then I keep like, he's telling a story. I'm like, he's not half as menacing as the story needs it to be with those butterfly glasses.
No, I'm trying to
He's
get away.
like-
I'm trying to get away from that image.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of this truck driver over here with his butterfly glasses. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you're gonna like bedazzle him. Is what you're gonna do.
you want to get your ass kicked by a butterfly glasses guy, bro?
Right,
You want to
yeah.
tell
Like,
that to your wife?
Your first move is gonna be like glitter. Like, the
I got these, and then I got the heart-shaped stoner glasses. I love those. Those are awesome.
Dude, I fucking so another thing that happened to me at work, dude, like I don't mean to laugh at this, but one of our subcontractors, he's always 2 hours late. Like to the T. He's supposed to be there at 8 a.m. Every day he comes at fucking 10. And this time he was 4 hours late. And we're like, what the fuck is it?
He was 4 hours late?
He was 4 hours fucking late. And we're like, what the fuck happened? And I was laughing inside because me and my other best friend, he's like, I grew up in a part of Chicago where it's all Polish and Latino. He's Cuban. I have a thing that I call sandals with socks energy. It's like dumb Polak shit. And he's and he says when he says when like Latino, like instead of saying like because people don't say beaner anymore, he calls it silver tooth energy. So like, because like that like the Mexico cavities shit, But
Oh, I know. I got plenty of fucking family with that shit.
So in my mind I'm thinking this is the most silver tooth energy shit. The guy was 4 hours late because his helper was such an alcoholic. First he fired him, then he got kicked out of his house, like sleeping under a bridge, and then I guess he got beat to death with a brick.
And then, wow, Jesus, it was so regular. And then all of a sudden he was murdered.
So like
That took a fucking turn.
That's a fucking country song, bro.
So I was fucking laughing because like normally you got to show like a doctor's note as to why you're late. He's showing us the picture of the box they have to send him back to Mexico. And I'm
so
like,
dark.
dude, I hope he didn't make a video and he's just making a guy lay in a box like as a reason to be late. You know, like,
That guy's not even dead.
yeah. I'm like, dude, I want to see if his chest is breathing up and down. You know?
Yeah, I want video. Not just a fucking, not a still image.
You just hear the fucking Undertaker bell and he wakes up. You know? But
Oh my God. It's like, and then he died. Well, what? He was murdered. It was like, whoa, that fucking.
the only other crazy shit you guys we all
Oh, that's what that shit means. I'm sorry.
what
Wild Phil's osophy.
like philosophy?
Nigga,
Yeah.
I thought that said colonoscopy for a minute.
Wild Phil's colonoscopy.
Now I get it.
Give it a
Philosophy.
few years.
What
Wild
kind of a
Phil-
show are we recording?
Well,
Because it's fine. You just didn't tell me. Like,
I mean, if you guys don't mind, we're gonna end it with your fingers in my ass. I mean, like, that's cool. Like, all right, had to make it weird. Sorry.
which finger?
Yeah, whatever one.
Is there a preference? I think I have one with the hangnail. Is that like a deal breaker?
I mean,
or is
I had-
it like,
I had
ooh,
some-
interesting.
I had some kebab last night, so maybe the pinky. You know,
We're gonna go no. Yeah, that's a no.
no, but the only other crazy like the funny shit you guys because we remember this the whole like Jerry Springer and shit, right?
Yes.
So, dude, I was dying because it was one of his first episodes, like before the brick wall where they all fight every 5 minutes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it was one of the first episodes, and he's having, like, Jerry's sitting there all fucking professional because he wants to be the next Sarah Jesse or Raphael or whatever.
Phil Donahue.
And it starts out with him narrating, but he's sitting there, and it goes, "Today we have Tweaky Dave, who got shot in the he got shot in the stomach at 9 years old and abandoned. Then he was a male prostitute, and now he's dying from leukemia." And they zoom in on Tweaky, and Tweaky Dave's sitting there like this. I'm like, dude, nobody knows who Jerry Springer is. But we could tell who got shot in the fucking stomach at 9 years old with the way you're fucking sitting there. Like, I was... Yeah.
Weaky Dave.
My question is, they shot him first and then abandoned him? Or
Yeah,
they abandoned
yeah.
him, then shot him? I thought the
I don't know.
abandonment would just stop it right
Wait,
there.
did the parents shoot him?
Yeah, the dad shot him and
And then left.
Yeah. I think he shot him because
Wow.
he was like, he wanted to make sure like he dies, like a fucking kitten in a box or something, you know?
Jesus
So
Christ.
it was, yeah.
Tweaky Dave's a survivor, though.
Yeah.
Like,
He died the year after, so.
oh, what a shame. What a shame. I hope he was still alive.
Yeah.
I was hoping he was still
Well, that's
out
what
there
usually
tweaking.
happens before you die. You're still alive.
I was hoping he was still alive, though, like to this day. I was hoping he was still tweaking.
Oh, okay.
Tweak on.
Still
just-
tweaking to
yeah.
this day.
He's like the Matthew McConaughey of tweakers. He's like, I just keep on tweaking. Keep on tweaking.
He just got shot in the stomach. He's like, all right. I'll still keep living.
I'll be all right, all right.
So you know what? We should probably, because we're gonna fucking talk about like factory, like shop shit.
Yeah,
I want to do the interview first. Then, so like, when did you guys start doing comedy?
I started 13 years ago. It was April 5th of whatever 13 years ago was.
Oh, nice.
2011. It's
Yeah.
basic math.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was April 5th.
because I know everybody fucking knows Rudy, man. Everybody knows Rudy here.
Yeah, whatever.
What was? Do you remember the first mic you went to?
That's the weirdest part, bro. Is like the first year I did stand up, I didn't know there was such thing as open mics.
Yeah.
I know I'm being cocky, but I just got booked on shows
Oh.
because back then I did a lot of indie shows, and there was comedians like Patty Vaccarella, Thomas Bottoms that were also producers.
Oh, I love.
So
Patty,
they
man.
would book me. So the first year I was in,
Yeah.
I didn't know what a fucking open mic was,
Yeah.
and that's why I met him at a Mark Beretta show in.
Yeah, that's 'cause Mark was
Hodgkins?
just- yeah, Hodgkins.
Dude, this fucking
Fuck that place so bad.
that was the second.
When did you start?
15 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah,
I,
that was this-
I just had my 15-year anniversary last Friday.
Oh, nice.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
But
You're-
that's why I met Pete. Yeah, it was.
I
that
was
was
2
my
years in.
that was my second time on stage.
You guys are unbelievably friendly for being that deep in. Because
oh,
there's some
dude,
people.
we're like brothers. Yeah.
There's some people that are no. Well, no. I mean, like,
to newbies or new people that we don't know.
well,
Oh,
I mean,
no,
just
he's always been Pete. I'm more friendly than I've ever been before.
Yeah, this is post-pandemic Rudy.
Yeah, that's what this is. Yeah,
This is lockdown Rudy, who is just like, I'm gonna need to smoke weed because I can't drink like this in lockdown.
yeah.
So this is stoner Rudy.
That's why there's two variants of Rudy.
Yeah, we're in a different timeline.
Right. The first one, I was telling Phil, I'm like, wait till Pete gets here. He's got stories, but yeah, I pissed everybody the fuck off.
Like the TVA came in, pulled that Rudy out, and threw this one back into our timeline.
Do you have like a top 3 Rudy pissed people off stories?
Well, I burned my fucking bridge at Improv because fat ass Luke won't book me, and then there's been a bunch of bridges, right?
Is that his comedy name? Yeah, and tonight
No,
your
Luke-
opener,
Is this
fat ass
where
Luke.
Luke's the
We just
assistant.
edit me out of the.
Well,
I'm
Luke's-
just like,
I think he's the assistant man, or I don't know what the fuck he is. In other words, he's a part and a cog of things that if it breaks, the machine's still gonna go without him. You
Yeah,
really
yeah.
should keep Pete out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say keep myself out. We'll just.
Fuck Luke, bro. But whatever. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
what's he gonna do? Not book me?
Rudy
Motherfucker?
doesn't like burn bridges. He's like Bane. He just blows them up.
He don't book me anyway. What's he gonna do? Not book me for another couple of fucking shows?
The moment I burn a bridge, I just go, Arnold, the bridge is out.
No, I'll burn bridge. Pete said this is pretty good description. I'll burn bridges, and then I'll rebuild the bridge, make peace, and then
Just to
burn the
burn it
motherfucker
again.
again.
You know what my problem is?
Just to burn it again.
I'm like trying to work this into a bit is like because we were talking about like I realize I breed drama, and I'm just like, you know, I don't want to be known as drama queen. I don't like that name. I'm more of like a struggling businessman of a drama pyramid scheme. Where the moment some shit happens to me, I gotta let you know, and then you let him know, and then I tell you what he said, and then he's like, what the you talking shit about Rudy? And it's like, and it just goes in a circle, and nobody wins. It's a fucking
You're like the
drama.
Bernie Madoff of drama.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like a
Drama.
Ponzi.
Yeah, dude. That's what I should use. Yeah, Ponzi.
Yeah, you're the Madoff.
And you know what the sad part is? I saw that Madoff documentary, and I was like, man, that guy's gangsta.
Yeah, you just walked out there with like mad respect.
Yeah, I'm like,
You're
I
like,
need
oh fuck, I gotta do that.
I need tips here. I'm making fucking notes, you know.
I used to get kicked out of the Chicago. What is it? The suburban, whatever the fucking long ass name is.
The-
Chicago suburbs comedy page.
Oh,
remember?
the
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah, yeah.
group.
I would get kicked out of there.
Like once a year.
Yeah, for a while because I would get into it with other comedians or whoever, and then I'd get pissed off. I'd leave my address and my phone number. I'm like, well, just pull up, motherfucker. And then Matt Drufke would inbox me, stop posting your address. He's like, stop, dude. Why are you and he would delete, the message. And one of
Does
the
he always run the page?
Yes.
it's
Okay.
him and Eric Resendiz, which I don't know why the fuck he's on there, but Eric Resendiz, I love him, but I don't know why the fuck he's a moderator. And then I think Waleed,
Okay.
and then I forgot who else, but yeah, he's always had that page going. But I got into it with this one. What the fuck was his name? What was that idiot's name?
I love that you don't even remember the names of the people that you had drama with. But I guarantee you still have the
Perry?
grudge.
Nah, not Perry Ellis. That's the fucking fashion. Ian Ellis, that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Something happened where he had trolled or he made fun of a heavyset chick. That's the thing. It wasn't even directed at me.
She was another comic.
Huh?
It was another comic too.
Yeah, it was another comic. I can't recall her. I'm so sorry. I can't recall her name, but somehow.
I do, but I don't feel like putting her name out there.
Oh, okay.
And reliving that.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, leave the name
This is
dropping
the new us.
to
We're
me.
not causing drama after this episode. Okay?
I feel like that's
he-
because I'm here as a moderator.
He made fun of her or something. I forgot. And then he completely trashed her on his very short-lived podcast. I don't even know how I remember getting involved in this shit.
Short-lived. I heard he was the godfather of podcasts. If it wasn't for him, there would be no podcast industry. That's what he said.
I forgot how I even got dragged into this shit, but him and I started going at it in the comments somehow. And then
Because you knew who he made fun of, and you were pissed, so you started going after him.
that's
Because you're
I
friends
got her
with her.
face in my head. I can't remember her fucking name, but I felt bad. So yeah, no, you're right. And then Ian and I started going at it in the comments in this group page.
Yeah.
And then it ended with, I think Ian's like, well, I'll be at the mic at the Comedy Shrine on Monday. I'm like, all right, motherfucker, I'll be there. But I got there, and I remember KB remembers this. I pulled up to the Comedy Shrine, the second location, when it was by the Toys R Us. Everybody's going in.
at the mall?
No, it was before the mall.
Okay.
Everybody's walking in, like, Rudy, you going up? You going up? Like, nah, I'm not here to go on stage. I'm not going to tell them why. But I'm hanging out in front of the Comedy
I
Shrine.
ain't fighting on stage.
I'm sitting in front of the Comedy Shrine, standing there, and I'm waiting for Ian to pull up, and he never pulls up. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I remember Dave Sinker comes out, and he's just like, hey, buddy, he's like, you gonna go? Because he caught wind of what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So then he's like, you going on stage? I'm like, nah, man, I'm just waiting for somebody. I'm like, I'm not going. I'm just waiting for somebody. Okay, and he goes in, and then I don't know if it was Pat Sinker or somebody. Remember how The Office was the first window?
Yeah.
I see the blind going down. Someone's looking at me like, damn, this motherfucker's still here. I waited there for like an hour and a half. He never showed up. Then I find out through KB Marion that later on, when they saw me standing and they realized, oh, he's not here for the mic. He's waiting for Ian Ellis to pull up. They had messaged Ian like, yeah, motherfucker, don't show up. He's like pacing the front like a pit bull on crack. Like, you gotta, don't show up tonight. I don't want it so bad.
Pacing like a pit bull. You got to pull him up by that back neck. You know?
Yeah, but that was just like drama. That wasn't really like a bridge that you burned because it's not like.
Yeah, there's random. And you know what that?
It's not like you had clout and shit.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not like you got pissed off and fought with a comic that could have gotten you a TV show.
You ever had those moments like, oh damn, I wish that would have happened. Like that's the one ass whip I wish I would have gave out.
Oh yeah,
I think everybody needed.
Everybody, I think, wanted to see him get his ass whooped. At some point too.
You know, but you know what though? You know what though? I have two.
Are you making s'mores? What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, man.
S'mores.
It's a fucking coal.
I love the things that Rudy doesn't know, dude. You know what? That's the wildest shit that happened to me in the last 2 weeks. Is Rudy not knowing that you could get sun poisoning? And
I didn't know
like,
that.
That's not a thing. You that's not a real thing. I'm like, yes, that's a fucking thing. I'm like you could get water intoxication. He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude.
What is sun poisoning?
Thank you. Fucking thank you.
It's like an extreme sunburn, but then it causes more than just the sunburn itself.
I
like
had one.
you end up having like feeling really like
you get like the shit happens.
Tired or lethargic and just like
I knew
kind of
about,
out of it and loopy a little bit.
Dude, I knew about the water poisoning thing because I had a buddy who was he got
get the fuck out of here.
He got
you can't get poisoned by water.
Dude, I googled a screenshot with the definition
you
and
can't
sent
get
it to you.
poisoned by water unless there's poison.
I just spilled Red Bull gesturing
unless there's
like
poison.
I'm an Italian.
If the water's poisonous, okay, you can get water poisoning. But if it's just clear water, it's drowning.
No, it's not drowning because drowning is when water fills up in your lungs. This is because you've consumed so much water it dilutes your salt level.
You're either drowning, you're drowning either way.
No, that's not drowning.
No,
because the dilution of your salt levels is not drowning.
Because I had a friend, old guitarist. He's a union electrician, and he was about to get drug tested. So he's like, "Oh man, I heard if you drink like 4 gallons of water, it'll dilute the drug." And he had a seizure because he drank so much fucking water.
Yeah, then he started laughing. What an asshole.
No, it's gonna work. We just wait. It's gonna work.
No, yeah. So that's if you consume too much water too fast.
And you know what? Is that drowning or is that waterboarding after 9/11?
Yeah. But it was in Colorado. This was last week sometime, and I was out in the sun. Usually we wear long sleeve shirts because we're starting early in the morning. We're working outside.
Yeah.
And the first 3 days I forgot to wear a long sleeve shirt, so my forearms got sunburned really fucking bad.
Yeah.
Poisoned.
And then so then I go back to my hotel at the end of the day. I smoke. I get high as shit, and I'm sitting there in a chair like this. I'm like, and then it looked like alligator skin. I can't pronounce alligator, but anyway, you get the point. It's like crocodile skin. Yeah.
Alligator.
That's my favorite.
Can you say percolator?
Yeah, it's alligator's my favorite.
What
dance
other words?
move.
Calculator? Are you good with that one?
I can say calculator, motherfucker. Okay. I just can't say the other one.
Alligator.
Okay. Alligators.
Can you just say gator? Just call it gator.
Yeah, I can say gator.
It'll just be gator.
Okay. I'll start saying gator.
Don't struggle.
Fuck you, Pete. Anyway, so then I was like, I should get this checked out.
Yeah.
So I go to the nearest walk-in clinic. I'm still fucking high. And the doctor comes in. She was cute, too. And she's like, okay, Mr. Ruiz, what's going on? I explained I'm on the road for work, outside. This is what happened. But now all of a sudden, now my skin's all raised like they had a rash.
Was she like, shit, you got the agulator?
So then she looks at me and she's like, it looks like you have a bit of sun poisoning. And I laughed because I thought she was joking around.
Yeah.
And then she looks at me. I'm just like, wait, that's a thing? I go, sun poisoning? Like that happens?
I could see how you would get confused because to me, poison is always like, it's like a liquid biological
Thank you. That's what I'm
thing,
thinking. Like someone put it there.
Like a fucking...
I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be 48 in November. I work outside the last 30 some odd years. I've never had sun poisoning. I get dark.
Probably have.
That's it. Will you let me finish the goddamn story? I don't need your commentary, bro.
All right, man. You got to meet up with him at Comedy Shrine at 7:00 sharp.
So then she's like, I'm like, that sounds made up. And she got mad. She's like, I didn't make that up. I'm like, I didn't say you made it up. I said it sounds made up.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what the fuck happened. I'm like, that's not a thing. Like, why would the sun choose to poison me on a Tuesday when I've been in this motherfucker for 48 years? That's how I think. I'm like, that's bullshit. I didn't know. And then she's like, Mr. Ruiz, you know, she's like, you're just becoming sensitive to sunlight. I'm like, so I'm turning into a fucking vampire is what you're fucking telling me.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh my God. And then she's like, you know, Cynthia,
He
whoever.
sparkles like a fucking Twilight.
She's going to take care of you. I'll see you. I'm like, all right.
You're going to have those fucking like liver spots like Stan's grandpa in South
I had
Park.
to Google sun poisoning, and then this motherfucker didn't help because then it said the water intoxication bullshit. I'm
Just
still
blowing
high.
his mind.
I'm like, this is not a thing. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That was amazing.
How dare you, Dr. Peter? You know, like,
That was great.
Dude,
It was
we're going back and forth for
amazing.
like a half
Like the
hour.
shit that he didn't know. I'm like, that's always fucking.
Dude,
fun.
that shit-
That's one thing I just struggle. I don't know shit like that. And then common sayings or cliche, whatever the fuck they are.
yeah.
I've never heard of them. Like, I'm not going to say this person's name, but they said something in this email. It was like, I'm not looking a gifted horse in the mouth. I'm like, what the fuck do horses got to do with this shit?
Yeah.
I don't want to
Like,
look
really-
a gift horse in the mouth.
That shit. And then I messaged him. I'm like, who's the horse in this scenario?
He's
Why
like,
the fuck is she bringing up horses?
Yeah.
Is it me or is it like, what?
Rudy's just like, I don't know. I don't mean insulted, but I don't know why I should be pissed. Can you tell me?
Dude, I remember like I had one of those moments where I didn't know what the fucking saying was.
Yeah.
And then I was pissed off because the argument ended with comic relief. Because I was my old drummer, he was like a compulsive liar. And I was telling him, I'm like, dude, like you make up a lot of shit. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, because dude, like I let you borrow my drum set, then you fucking pawned it for drugs and tell me it's not for like it was just this huge drama. And he's just like, well, you know what, man? It's the pot calling the kettle black. I'm like, bitch, I don't fucking drink tea. What the fuck does that mean? Yeah, I didn't know what that, like I didn't know what the fuck that. I never heard that before, you know?
He gets so mad at a cliche. He's like, I just got insulted, didn't I, motherfucker?
And then we were screaming at each other. This guy doesn't know what pot kettle black means. Who the fuck? And we were in the middle of a Dunkin' Donuts, like people laughing at this, like.
Nervously laughing, like laugh before they shoot us.
Yeah.
One of them has an AR tucked in under their shirt for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, what was the one? There was one saying we argued about. Oh, I think it was like this was years ago. You and Excel were trying to explain this saying.
I feel like that's half the thread.
Yeah, it's still
whenever
goes
he
on.
messages us.
He said something like, "I can't see the forest for the trees." I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Why?
Yeah, I don't really understand. I've heard that before too.
I got mad, bro. I'm like, that don't make any. Somebody left a comment saying on one of my posts, yeah, that's like seeing the forest for the tree. Whatever the fuck the saying is.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's
The
all
fucking
trees
thing
there.
is how mad you get.
Fuck does it mean they're all fucking trees, bro? What difference does it make? The trees for the forest or the forest for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking trees? It's all trees.
Yeah, he was so
Fucking saying
mad.
ever, bro.
And
It
we're
is.
just like, no, dude, it's like you can't differentiate it. Like it all blends together. You can't pick the
It
details.
is, dude.
We're trying to like explain it to him, me and Excel, and Rudy's
I'm-
just like fucking because he's so angry
I'm
already.
I'm only laughing this hard because I 100% relate. I could see going into a fucking rage, trying to understand it. Like, oh man, I forgot what the other fucking saying was. Like that somebody told, and then you know what my brother makes fun of me all the time is like I'll forget sayings. Like I forgot the word for secret admirer. And I was telling him about. I'm like, oh man,
Stalker.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, this bitch got this. She got this gift from this guy who, those guys that follow you. He's like, no, I don't know what you mean. And I'm like, like mystery gift givers. It's like, what the fuck does that mean?
History.
That's you make
like a secret shopper.
Yeah. We're doing a white elephant this Christmas. You mean a mystery gift giving? Like,
That's fucking great.
A what? A white elephant?
yeah, I guess I didn't even know what the why. Do you know why it's called that?
I don't know why it's called that.
It's like where
White
you
people do it.
Yeah, it's that's why probably like seriously. It's like you fucking you know how you make a registry for like a baby shower or whatever.
Yeah.
They make like a registry of what each person wants, and then another person gets that person like raffle. It's stupid as fuck.
Do they call it
'Cause-
a white elephant?
Yeah. I don't know why they call it white elephant.
It's like Secret Santa or whatever. Like you just
Oh.
everybody
Yeah.
puts their names in, you pull it
Gotcha.
out.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
yeah, like I had a girlfriend whose family did that because they were just so big. It was like too expensive at one point for them to like try to buy gifts for all the nephews and all the nieces.
Right.
Like it was just too expensive. So they like would get together and like pool some money together and then like pick the names out and then like get them expensive gifts for the kids, but like a big item. They'd get like a big item and shit.
You know, this reminds me because my brother and I, we used to we used to troll each other and see who would get on each other's nerves first. So like for Christmas, I started it off. I would buy him some bullshit I found at Goodwill.
Yes.
You know, it'd be like Kids Bob 19 or something.
Like an urn with ashes.
Yeah. And you know where we drew the line? When one of us finally, like, dude, when my mom was alive, there was so much she had more expired shit in her cabinets than new shit. And one year we went too far because I got him. There was a fucking carton of, remember Tang?
Oh
wow.
Yeah,
Gross.
there's a carton of Tang, and I put a tomato inside it. And that's he, like, when we got that, he opened it up and he fucking whipped it. He's like, "Fuck it, we're not doing this anymore." You know, like,
a kind of Tang with a tomato. Tang was so gross. Is that even available anymore?
I don't think so.
That's just nasty.
I could see that shit being illegal to sell in the U.S.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, it tasted like lead.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
did. There was a weird aftertaste, man.
Yeah, man, it's got like every dye in it that gives
Yeah.
you ADHD, probably, you know.
Dude, fucking even worse than Tang, there was this one like orange drink at Mexican grocery stores
Yeah.
called Tampico.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Bro,
dude,
that
that thing
shit's
burned.
concentrated.
It burned when you
Yeah.
drank it.
I think
There's
they-
absolutely no filtering process for that bitch.
No, even if you fucking watered it down, it still would
Yeah.
burn. You could do nothing to fix that shit. And that's all my aunt had when we'd go over to drink. That's
don't
all.
they still have it in the little bottles?
Yeah.
I'm sure they
like
do,
the
dude.
5-hour energy type bottles.
They have them in the little tin cans. They still have it.
Oh,
Yeah.
because there's like another Mexican where they have it like it's like in a
I think you
wax.
snort it now, actually.
I want that. I want that ADHD right away.
It goes straight to your brain. That's
man.
fucking crazy, dude. That shit was nasty. That
shit
fucking
was
orange
nasty.
drink. Oh, that was so gross.
I don't got any other wild
I
shit.
mean, that was the 80s, dude. That was the 80s. Like,
Yeah.
Mexicans were just so happy to be in America. They're like,
Right.
we'll drink whatever you give us.
You know what I fucking love? You ever have that Malta Goya? You ever have that shit? The malt drink?
Oh, my
No.
my ex-wife's grandfather, my first ex-wife, I have two.
It's like brown, dude. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like non-alcoholic Guinness. I
Yeah,
know
he's,
it's,
yeah, he would always drink that shit. Yeah.
I love that fucking shit. They have a lot of it in like I shop at the Polish store. It's like they have it in Russian like sodas like that. They say it's like the most healthy soda because it's like fermented
Yeah.
probiotic. So you know, I love that shit. I know it sounds gross describing it non-alcoholic Guinness, but
Yeah. It's not a selling point in that way. It's like,
yeah.
we need the alcohol.
So here, I'm just gonna double check. I have fucking like PTSD because I recorded like a 4-hour thing and it cut off at 2 right here. So I had to add
Oh,
like
that sucks.
I had to add like a picture, but the audio was still going.
Right. Yeah.
Need another coal here. Lighten up these s'mores.
S'mores.
I don't know anything
Is
else.
that like incense?
No, it's that's how you light a hookah. That's how you.
Oh, that's what that shit
Yeah,
is.
it gets
Yeah.
hot, and then that's what gets the tobacco going.
Yeah.
I was
a
wondering
coal.
when that fucking like where the fuck. Okay, now I see it.
Yeah. This right here,
Yeah.
bro.
Sounds like a
Fucking,
bomb.
I remember in you know, everybody had that. There was that one chick in high school who just like showed up to mooch everyone's weed. You know what I mean? That fucking shit. So my brother used to hang out at this guy's like you know. There's always that one friend who their parents don't give a fuck, so everybody smokes weed in their basement.
I love how Rudy just randomly checks out.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
middle of storytelling,
Right.
Rudy's just like, I'm out.
I didn't mean to offend you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
No, I know,
Bro,
He's
I'm-
not being offensive. I just know he's
I'm-
so high that he's just checking out at random moments.
It's
amazing.
I am worse of a rambler than Trump, so I'm used to people checking out. Like that's just like that's like if you're hanging out with, you're like, all right, it's fucking story time with this Polak. Like, but no, I they were hanging out at this basement, and this chick, she's like, "Oh, does anybody have any weed for me?" And they gave her the bong, but they were already so stoned that they're already like dancing and like fucking around. And the one kid goes, "Yo, man, I'm Ray Finkel," and he punts a football. And it hit the bong and it shattered on her face.
Oh, damn!
It was so bad, dude. Like, she wasn't hurt, but it was just fucking hilarious. Just like having a fucking football punt across a basement. Like, but anyways, man. So you started
for being a mooch.
Yeah, right. Fucking. I'll be honest. I'm a mooch and I have no shame. But like, if somebody's like, "Yo, man, I'll cover this," I'm like, "Okay, dude. Right, no problem." Or when
but I don't think that's mooching. That's accepting someone's generosity.
Yeah.
But like, if you go there with the intent to just like try to get what you can get,
no,
that's what that weed chick sounds like.
Yeah. No, I'm like that guy. Like how we were saying, we all worked at shops. I'm that guy. There's one donut left. I don't have a problem taking that last one.
I always take the last donut. Yeah.
Well, yeah. You started 13 years ago. You started 15?
Oh shit! That's how this conversation started.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! We just went on
did some
such
Yellow
a long
Brick
tangent.
Road
I don't even know
shit just
where. How did we end up talking about donuts? That was awesome. That's great. All right. Yes.
Did you want to share like any of these fucking like these?
Yeah, dude. Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean like the top 3 Rudy meltdowns. Any of that? No.
In comedy.
Yeah, you said there was the fight, which is one of those. I was gonna say, dude, I had, you know, because you were saying you kind of wish like you could have fought this guy. You know why you should be grateful is because it ended with him being a little bitch and not showing up. That's how you fucking won. Because I had 2
What the
situations.
fuck kind of philosophy shit?
It's a wild philosophy.
It's right there with the colon.
No, because I had two situations in comedy. I'm not gonna spread the drama because I'm a new man. But no, I had a situation where like somebody was fucking with my shit, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna fucking tell you. Normally, I'd kick your fucking ass, and he's like, no, man, that's a bullshit threat. You wouldn't. I'm like, it's right there. Put one finger on that fucking thing. Go ahead. And he wouldn't do it. And I'm like, all right, well, I got my point through. We're cool now. And then there was another person I'm not gonna name. I'll tell you after. But he was at the same time he was telling me to fight him in a parking lot. The comedians around me were getting texts from him. Hey man, can you help me beat Phil's ass? Because I don't think I can do it alone. so I'm like, dude, like that. I there's nothing. Winning a fight is not going to make me feel better than what already would happen. This guy being a bitch, you know, like.
I guess I don't know. I still want him to show up.
Yeah, I don't know. It just really feels good when you hit something.
Yeah. Speaking of the Olympics, you know.
I haven't been in a
Dude,
fight.
you know what? I'm not even getting mad at her. I've been hit once and I did not fight back. This was in a bar fight like years
where you
ago.
just get rocked?
Yeah, bro. Like I was talking. My cousin and my uncle were talking about this shit about what happened with the boxing. My huge boxing family, right? They love boxing.
Yeah.
And so then we're all talking about that. And I was like, I was in this bar one time, and my 2 friends were gonna be late, you know. And I was this is back when I was drinking, right? I think I was like 1 year in the stand up. Anyway, and I'm talking to the bartender. I have to use the washroom, so I get up from the stool. I go this way. Some white dude about my size. I guess he wasn't paying attention. You know, you pass by each other, and we bumped shoulders like really fucking hard. And he's like, "Hey," man, he was already drunk. He's like, "Hey, bitch, what the fuck you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm just going to the bathroom." Because despite my reputation, I don't like confrontation. I don't like it because then, like, now I got to whip your ass and this whatever. Anyway, the point is, so we bump shoulders. He starts talking shit. I'm trying to back out of it.
Yeah.
And even the bartender's just like, "Hey, guys, like, calm the fuck down." I'm like, "I'm just trying to use the washroom, whatever." We start grabbing each other, like pushing each other, and I misread his fucking punch. That motherfucker hit me hard. Like, you know when you're the bobbleheads and they go like that?
Yeah.
My head did that shit. I started seeing stars. And I was just like, nah, you win. I'm not going to get you back. I don't know who fucking touched you, bro. I don't know what happened from your past that you had to hit me. I get hit like that on the 3rd or 4th time. But the first one going, no, I'm sitting down and I'm saying this shit, but I'm not trying to make people laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you hit me really hard and that hurt.
You're like, ouch. Rudy goes, ouchie.
I saw stars, bro. Like, I applaud you. I'm sitting this one out. You fucking win. Come on, bitch. Yes, I'm a bitch, sir. You
No,
fuck
you
away from
won.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you win. I will take this fucking L. Somebody
dude,
like rubbed a dead squirrel on you as a kid. Something happened. There's trauma behind you fucking hit me like that. So
Dude,
that's why when that lady was like,
Yeah, that's
I never been
when you
hit
hit
like
someone like that. That's the kind of kid that got pegged by his grandmother.
Yeah,
right?
right. So when that woman got hit in the Olympics, and she was like, "Nah, I'm out." I was like, "Yeah, I get it."
No, I get it. Everyone's getting popped like that.
dude, I had that same situation here. Like it was like the year before COVID. I just moved in here. It's a long ass fucking story. I had to go to court for it all through COVID because, long story short, I was playing with my band here. My fucking Polak ass neighbor from 7 doors down. He like. Bro, his wife comes over, going off on my wife, and she's talking all like black accent and hood. I'm like, there's no hood in Poland. The hood in Poland is like Borat, where would you like to fuck my cousin? You know, like, so well, like, why are you going hood? So I got
No, they have ghettos.
yeah, but it's not like black culture ghetto.
Well,
you know,
right, yeah.
that's why I was like, why are you getting all fucking bobblehead on me? You know, oh no, you didn't. You know, and like. So long story short, she called her brother over, who I'm not joking, he's a proud steroid user. Like he has a
Proud.
like he has a YouTube channel where he's just like, yeah, I did 2 shots today, you know? And he comes over.
He just has the letters HGH tattooed on his arm in barbed wire font.
He has the Joe Rogan Experience tattooed on him. But dude, he came over and like you, like I've always been like the big kid in my class. So I never people wouldn't fuck with me to the fight, but then when it got to the fight, I didn't want to hurt anybody, so I would just talk trash. And not only that, I was here with my band, so it's 3 dudes versus 1 dude, and then it's like his sister, his girlfriend, and the mom. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna fucking like it, no matter what happens, they're gonna charge me with something because there's more women on this, you know?
Yeah.
So
There's no upside for you. It's like fighting an old guy.
yeah. So I straight up was just talking shit while they're beating me up the whole time. It was just like that Joe where he's like, I thought I told you to go fuck your mother, man.
yeah.
You know, like the
But
whole
like,
fucking.
did it hurt though? Because it was 3 women hitting you.
No. It was first. It was his. First, he split my head open. I got 7 stitches here.
Shit.
And
That's what that's from.
yeah, right, yeah. And then his girl started like speed like going like a speed bag. I'm like, and I'm just like, man, dude, your girl punches harder than you bitch. Like, and they just kept, and then they pushed me up against, and they were just beating the shit, and they're just like, you ready to get your ass kicked? I'm like, are you ready to get I'm ready to take a beating. I've gotten it my whole life, bro. So it was
I
bad.
can take a punch.
Yeah. What? I know exactly I know what you mean. I'm just picturing you just getting like bobbed one and be like, damn, dude, that hurt.
Yeah. Well, because I used
Why you
to,
gotta hit that hard, man?
I used to box, and I've taken a little Krav Maga, so I know how to handle myself.
Yeah.
But getting hit, like, I didn't think it was gonna hit me. That's how quick it was.
Yeah.
And I was just like, when it stunned me, I was like, oh shit.
Dude, you know what?
Damn.
You know why this guy fucking tagged me? Because he like, I was literally like, so the girl yelled at my wife. I said, I went to her all nice. I'm like, listen, we need to figure this out. I can practice on a different day. She kept going at me, and I'm just like, well, you know what? You need to stop being a cunt because we're neighbors. So let's figure this out. And that's when she called him over. So I went out there thinking like, we're packing our shit, we're leaving, it's over. That's when her brother came over, and then I told him because her dad tried going at me. He was like doing the whole pushing me with his chest, and I'm just like, dude, you're like a foot shorter than me. This is so weird. Like, but when the roid guy showed up, I told him in Polish. I'm like, man, like father, like son, a fucking loser ass drunk in Polish. And then the funniest part is after because he hit me, I didn't hit one time. They told the cops they were trying to charge me with a hate crime, and I'm just like, why the fuck are you charging me with a hate? And he goes, well, because you said something to him and like about how like Polacks should go back to their country and not be drunk here, and I'm like, I said it in Polish. And he's like, man, Polish on Polish crime, that's so fucking Polish. And he scratched it out. Well, yeah, dude.
I remember one time I got jumped, and this is before I started comedy.
What a way to start a story. Like, Rudy has stories. I don't even know sometimes how we're friends because his stories never start the way my stories start. Ever. There's never been a time where he started a story, but I can relate to that experience. Not once. He's like, one time that I got jumped, or one time that I was smarting off to a judge. I've been in court like 3 times. 2 of them for child support hearings, just to like start the preliminary hearing and then to affirm the hearing, and then I never went back because I just paid it.
So you know when like these kids have body count now for how many chicks they fuck. What is you said your court count is 3? What is your court count?
How many counties we talking?
Just total. How many?
I don't know how many hours I got
Over-
in the courtroom.
Oh, like how many visits? So you think like 50?
No, hell no, it was more than that. Well, because after my first divorce, and then ironically when I started comedy, I was missing shows because I was in jail.
Yeah.
And I was a producer, bro. Like, motherfuckers would show up.
Bro, I thought you were a comedian. You couldn't zoom in?
No, it was zoom in. But I would you gotta, you get 3 phone calls, not like stupid fucking TV, like you get 1 phone call. So I spent those 3 calls.
You get 3 phone calls, and I'm lighting you at the 4th one.
Calling the bar to let them know. But they wouldn't accept the call because it says you have a call from the Kendall County Correction. They kept denying it, so I used up my 3 calls. So I couldn't like tell anyone. And then like 3 of those comedians are coming out from the city, and just like they showed up like, "Where's Rudy at?" Like, I don't know. I couldn't have access to my cell phone. What happened like 3 different times.
Do you want to share why you got in jail?
I get in jail for dumb shit. Like then there's a
like
few
missed
times.
tickets.
Like this is Pete knows what I'm talking about. Like I get offended, and then all of a sudden I'll make it seem like they're being petty. Like I got my license suspended. That's wrong. I get it, but then what wound up pissing me off was that when I went to go renew my license, they said I had to do all this other bullshit to renew the license. Like, well, you have an outstanding, speeding ticket in Iowa. I'm like, Iowa? They're like, oh yeah, this was like in 2012. I'm like, why are you bringing up old shit?
Yeah, why the
fuck are you bringing up old shit?
Yeah, bro.
Like you have tickets.
It's in Iowa.
Why are you bringing up old shit that I did wrong that I still have not?
State.
That's fucking amazing.
They brought that up in Illinois?
Yeah, at the DMV. Then they do that shit. And then there was some other fucking speeding ticket.
They do that shit.
I had in Indiana. I'm like, these are out of state issues. Okay, dude, if I go to Indiana,
that is a great punchline. Why are you bringing up old shit?
But that's how my mind works, bro. And then I go off on a fucking tangent, and the anger's still trying to come out when I'm high, and that's the part fucking Pete loves.
Yeah,
so anyway,
and I'm dying laughing because I'm just like, no rational person is like mad at them for talking about their outstanding ticket. Like that shit happened to me, and I had my license suspended. Now here's what I was mad at, because the reason I got caught and then I had to go through all that shit is because I had my license suspended for a while too. And the reason, like, when it expired, I didn't go renew it because I had some outstanding tickets and like we were broke, so I hadn't paid those and shit. And also like around that time when we were broke, it was like a period of like unemployment, so I fell behind a little bit on my child support. Right. So I had like some stuff in arrears. Like I was making payments, but still it was building, right? So whatever. So those 2 things. So I'm like, fuck it, whatever. I just drive careful, and I had been for a long time. And then I was at the Improv and I was hosting. And Pat Chase was featuring.
You told me this story.
And it's that Friday, and Pat's like, "Hey, can you give me a ride back to my friend's place?" Because he didn't have a car. And I'm like, "Yeah, cool." And so we leave the Improv. We did 2 shows. We were hanging out for a little bit, and so we're driving. And I'm on a fucking Gulf Road driving, and I see a cop behind me. I'm like, "Motherfucker, cop!" I'm like, "All right," because Pat and I had gotten stoned at the fucking club as well. So I'm like, dude, just be cool, like, chill. There's a cop behind us. Like, I'm not going to make any fucking sudden movements or whatever. Cop's following me for like 5 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking 12 o'clock midnight on the dot. His fucking lights go on. He pulls me over for my expired plate. So May 31st was that fucking day.
Yeah.
Fucking midnight.
Hell no.
Midnight, June 1st. Fucker pulls me over, and then I'm like, Pat, dude, I don't have a valid license.
That's some petty.
And Pat's like,
shit.
I don't got a valid license either. I'm like, fuck. I had to call my sister, and her and her husband came and like she drove my car back, and he followed us in his truck and shit. But we're like the cop was cool about it, and like he didn't smell weed on us, or if he did, he didn't say shit. And yeah, but fucking. That's petty shit. Like I understand. Like
that is petty. Dude.
That is extreme petty because it's not like you got me going 20 over
Right.
in a school zone, and then I'm mad at you because you found out my license was suspended. Or like,
Right.
I was like, I did nothing really that bad. Like fucking up. All you had to do was like, you know what? Hey, your plate's expired. Go home. But then he's got to check my fucking insurance and my license. He's like, you know your license expired? I'm like, nah.
You know what? Cops do that shit though sometimes because they're just like. They'll see your car and they'll see something fucking suspect, whatever, a rusty fender, and they'll be like, "Oh, this guy's got a fucking record," and then they'll follow you and waste 20 fucking minutes, and they're like, "Fuck, this guy's got nothing." So then they'll do on the petty shit because that shit happened. I had a cop follow me for like an hour, and then he gave me for not having the left bulb on my license plate. Like there's two fucking bulbs there. You know what was the scariest time I got followed was that I'm just because the whole time I am going there I'm just like, dude, I'm white. Why? But you know what happened? I was messing around with this like Italian chick in fucking Melrose Park, and they were like she's part of this family like mafia went legit whatever. So she lived in this mansion, and there was a fucking hot tub and a pool, and I'm messing around with her butt naked, and then her dad came home, so I fucking ran from the jacuzzi to my fucking car, like left all my shit, and because I'm like, this guy's gonna kill me. Like this isn't just like any dad's daughter.
No, that's like mafia princess.
Yeah, and dude, I got followed when I was butt naked. And the whole time I'm like trying to not burst out laughing because I'm like, dude, my dick has never been smaller because I'm so scared.
I know you can't.
It's so fucking, dude. It's so hard to maneuver pedals when you don't have like shoes on and shit. Like,
yeah, and you're being followed by a cop that's mobbed up, probably. That's not just a patrol officer that caught you.
And I'm like pulling up to the the red light and looking over and people like you could see like he's at who's driving with no shirt on, like even so.
Was it summer?
Yeah.
Okay, at least it was summer. That
if it was winter, that would be
amazing.
We got some PCP here.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would have been great.
Oh man. Yeah, I've been in court a few fucking. I got my license taken away one time. This is so stupid because it was my birthday and we had 5 friends and we there was a deal where you go skydiving in the Aurora area where the cornfields are, but the sale ends that week. So it was like if you fucking if you bring 5 people, you can pay for the price of 2. So I was going like 110 all the way down to Aurora, and they call, and he's like, "Yeah, man, you're lucky I'm not taking you to jail. I'm just taking your license." And I'm like, "All right, we got to get going. Wrap it up. Write the ticket." And then we ended up and that was even more ridiculous because the reason why we were speeding was because it was about to be a huge fucking storm. So they can't skydive because the clouds are so low where you're going to get out of the clouds and then you don't have time to pull the parachute, And I was that whole experience was so goofy because there was a fucking 70-year-old woman who's doing a bucket list thing, and they're telling you, they're like, "All right, listen, so it's a more personal experience. You can pull the string if you want or if you don't." Dude, the moment this fucking old lady popped out of the airplane, she pulled the string right away. And I'm connected to a dude, like he's mounting me. So we fucking landed, and we're waiting for this fucking old lady to land an hour later. Trying to small talk with a dude mounted to me on the ground.
Oh, you're still mounted?
Yeah. So, it's going to be good weather this week. I'm like, that bitch isn't going to be alive when she lands,
He's like, "You feel that?"
Because they got it because we both we both fell. They need the guy with the golf cart to come and help you up and then unzip you apart.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, that was fucking
That's hilarious. Why didn't she pull it so soon?
Because she's an old fucking late
What a fucking...
dude, I would have had a heart attack because the scariest part is up there. So imagine dangling in the sky for an hour because you're fucking landing that long.
Fuck that.
I'm gonna get scared that a fucking bird's gonna fly into me.
Yeah. This is kind of how a Rudy story was. I accidentally, I'm not gonna say accidentally. I'm trying to. I kind of pulled a hit and run, and I
Motherfucker, you do
shit.
it. You don't kind of do it.
I kind of did.
Yeah,
like I
dude.
grazed him.
It wasn't with a human. Every time I say this, Pearson's like, "Oh, is the person alive?" I'm like, "Yes, it was Carver's car, not Carver's person."
Oh, well, that's not a hit and run.
Yeah, it was.
When you hear hit and run, you always think.
I think car.
I always think human car.
That it's because you're sick in the fucking head. That's why. What the fuck would you think about a human getting hit by a car for a hit and run?
Why wouldn't you?
I hit
It
and
sounds
run,
so
I think,
bad. Why would you think of something more tame like a car on car?
Because when you get
That's
drunk,
so
you
tame.
hit and run a fucking car. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's not hit and run. It's like bumper cars.
Yeah, like I sideswiped a car in a parking lot.
Yeah. I sideswiped this. I was in like the most stressed fucking mindset because I was on I had 4 people. I didn't even know you could do this. I was on hold with 4 people with a fucking temp agency offering me a new job, with my wife trying to close a deal for this house, with somebody else offering me a job, and this lady I was on 83, kind of like by Jerks of Joe's.
yeah, right, yeah.
And there's like 4 lanes because it goes from highway to. This lady in front of me is not letting me go in front of her, and I thought she was fucking with me. She was just a little ass broad in an Escalade, like she could barely see over the steering wheel. And I got so fucking mad. I thought I was trying to cut her off, and I ended up swiping her, but I didn't hear it because I was blasting music. So then I get home and I'm like, holy fuck. I just realized now I kind of pulled a hit and run. So I had to go, to my guy, the chop shop, so he can get me a new door in a day, so they don't fucking go to my address and see the fucked up, because the door couldn't open. That's how badly I
Oh
Damn.
shit!
like the glass was like, it wasn't shattered, but it was cracked, but it didn't fall
yeah.
through. Like those videos are all the fucking white kids now throwing a spark plug at a glass on TikTok.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Shit, no, I just did that in the parking lot at the Stratford Square Mall, and that's because I was just. For no reason, I was just driving too fast and pulled in. I was driving my dad's red Ford pickup truck, sideswiped a white Dodge Neon. I was like, ooh, I'd look over, and I saw the red mark all across it. I'm like, I got out, I looked at the truck. No, nothing on my dad's truck. A little bit of scratches, but nothing bad, no white paint, but all the red paint on the white Neon. I'm like, I just want to go ahead and park on the other side of the mall. I had to go in for my shift for work.
Yeah, dude. You know what? It sucks because I try to leave that thug behind in the back, but it comes back. Like last week, I was telling you guys, I was having a hard time because I tried going off my Zoloft, and I was just. It's a long ass fucking story, but basically I went on a long ass motorcycle ride just in my head, just trying to, because anytime I have some depression or some shit, I don't want people thinking I'm gonna fucking commit suicide. So I tell myself, because I'm a cheap Polak, I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna drive in one direction so that when this is over with, I'm gonna be like, fuck, I spend that much on gas, because I could do. So I went to go do a mic, and on the way back, I go to a fucking gas station, and somebody left their card. And I'm like, dude, it's $4 fucking. This isn't even a felony. I'm gonna fucking use, I'm like, whatever the fuck.
Just you're gonna want to edit that out. Just confess to a crime. Where was the mic? Where's the mic?
Where's the mic that I went to? I went to Shakers.
Where's that at?
It's on Clark and I think Milwaukee.
Oh,
so it's Derek Jones runs it. It's a pretty good mic.
where's the gas station at on the way back?
Where's the gas? It's in
You a fucking detective?
Let's see what else we can get on recorded and confess to you.
Yeah, man.
Fucking Rudy.
one of my 80 views that this video gets.
It's the cop. Hey, just like
You want to talk? I'm gonna send you my address. You want to talk shit?
Don't get too cocky. That's what Vlad thought.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
That's so fucked up.
Did I remember this one time when I got arrested at the Plano Police Department? It was the weirdest. I swear this is fucking true. I got arrested at the Plano Police Department, right? And then
What police department?
the Plano Police Department.
Plano. Okay.
And there's this pegboard, right, where they put all their bulletins and whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So they had the remaining candidates to try out to be to sign up to be police officer. I was number 8 because the year before my life fell apart. I was testing out to be a cop because I wanted to be a detective. So within that year, I got fucking divorced, depressed, whatever the fuck, got into all this trouble. So I'm sitting across from the paper that says the remaining candidates, whatever. I start laughing. And then I was drunk, and the cop's like, "What the fuck are you laughing?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm number 8 on that list of candidates that are going to be, considered to be police officers." He's like, "Shut the fuck up." I'm like, "I swear it's right there. It says Rudy Ruiz, number 8. I'm like in the top 10, bro.
You're hired.
And then, he's like, "What?" Then he goes over there. He's like, "Wait." Then he comes back. He's like, "What the fuck happened?" I'm like, life happened. But I just thought that shit was funny. I'm sitting across, arrested.
I feel like if you had become a cop, we would have had a hashtag against you. You would have shot someone for sure.
Bro.
We would have been marching against Rudy if he would have became a cop. We'd be like, "Fuck this guy, man." I would have been sitting there talking with my mom and my dad. It's like, "Fuck, dude, he's not helping Mexicans whatsoever right now."
Bro, so like,
I'm so glad
Dude.
that your life fell apart.
I would have been a dirty cop anyway. I know.
That's what I'm saying.
I totally would have fucking good cop.
do you guys have siblings?
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah, I got 2 younger sisters.
I have 2 sisters and then 3 when my dad cheated on my mom. So I got like 5 sisters.
So, dude, I always get into like I swear to fucking God, like me and my brother, we're like Oasis, like we're those. We like we have mutual friends, and everybody's like, "Are you guys on good terms? What's the status now?" Like because we want to place bets.
Oh, I thought you were comparing yourself to the band.
Yeah, like the
Oasis.
band, because it's the
okay.
brothers hate each other.
Oh, okay. Then
They fucking
got
like,
it.
and so like one time I got into because you were talking about like like coinciding with like the board at the police station. Like I got into this huge argument, like scream about how much they will fucking hire any scum off the street at the DMV. Those motherfuckers are so late. Like if you're a piece of shit who's lazy and eats Taco Bell every day, you're getting the highest position, and my brother's like, "No, it's not true." I'm like, "Dude, they don't give a fuck." And I got so mad. This is fucking dedication to being a troll. You like they renew your license or you get a new picture like every 4 years, whether state ID. Every year I dressed up like a fucking clown, like differently each year, and I got all the IDs I can show. It did not age well because the first time it was like emo. I had emo hair and eyeliner.
Yes.
Then like the next year I shaved everything off, like straight up like Rudy said, and I went like this. And then the next year I was like, I'm gonna keep pushing that line. So the next year I went as trans, which didn't age well. And then I'm like, and my brother's like, "All right, how far are you gonna take this, dude?" The year after that, I went as Hitler for the photo. Like, and they still took it, dude. Like,
no.
It was that was the biggest.
How do you sit in the DMV like that and not get murdered?
I know, in the line, dude. That was the most nervous I just didn't make eye contact at all. Like, they're like, "This guy's fucking it's like something's wrong with him."
How funny would like an emo Hitler be?
yeah, he pretty much is. All Germans are pretty emo. They're always fucking depressed. Like, I've never seen a German that's like happy or all the music.
Even their language is like aggressive, isn't it?
Yeah,
they sound like a bunch of mad Puerto
they
Ricans
sound
when they talk.
sound like an emo kid mad that you took their phone away.
Yeah.
Like
that's an aggressive language.
Like a mad emo minion.
Yeah.
Have you seen that fucking video where they like make fun of Messi and they're like, "Why does Messi sound like a minion when he speaks in English?"
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Which is like so mean because that's why he doesn't want to speak in English because he's really self-conscious. But then he's like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence like, "Bad boys." I do that all the time and we'll just say "bad boys" like that to piss off my one son, my 12-year-old, because he loves Messi, and so like any criticism of Messi just drives him fucking insane. And so I'll be like, "Bad boys."
What is Messi? Is he he's Italian?
He's Argentinian.
Argentina. Okay.
Yeah.
So what guys like? What do you think you guys like top 3 comedy influences that made you get into comedy?
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, for sure. Chris Rock and I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say it's like a particular comic. It was more like just the fact that it was on TV. VH1 used to do like a comedy night, and and there used to be like Friday night comedy on VH1. So that and Paul Rodriguez.
Okay.
Like fucking, my mom and my dad loved him, so like he was one of my first
He's the one who put the Kings of Comedy together, right? That tour.
the Latin
Kings of Comedy. Yeah.
I think so. I actually don't know, but I just remember seeing him because it was like we got HBO free previews.
Yeah.
Remember when like cable would give you free previews and then like you would unscrew the back of the cable box like Sunday night and then plug it back in Monday morning and then you'd keep HBO for free. That was amazing.
Yeah.
We like there was a time when my dad was like, "Why the fuck do we have all these movie channels?" Because he didn't know I was doing that. So that way I could just like watch like titty films and shit. Late at night, right? I want to watch Skinamax and Red Shoe Diaries and shit, right?
Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah.
Chicks with Dicks 3.
Dude, fucking Girls Gone Wild was like everywhere in the early 2000s, right? Yeah. And then like fucking for real, like it was like 5 years ago, like they tried to bring it back. And I remember because it was like late at night, I'm watching TV and I heard the goddamn bongos. Yeah. And like, I got a boner, I swear to God. Like, it was like Pavlovian response. Like, I heard the damn bongos and it's like, we're back or whatever the fuck. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, it's go time. Because that's like all you had in high school at one point is like, I'm going to try to jerk off to the Girls Gone Wild commercial, but like the dirty version that comes out at 1 a.m. on Comedy Central. But it's like, you're trying to jerk off within like a 90-second time stream. It's like, then you're like, years later, you're like, why do I come so fast?
They should mix chicks. They should mix Girls Gone Wild with bum fights, man.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Where you're just like, all right, girl, for $100, run into that drive-through sign with your titties out.
So fuck. But what the fuck was I talking about? Comedy influence.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. We got the Girls Gone Wild. Fucking. So,
I hear the question,
because
I
Paul
tend to
Rodriguez. No, like
drift off
HBO
on
shit. Oh, dude. I remember he was like, I don't remember the specialist's name or whatever, but it's just this one particular bit that he had where like he was talking shit to his third grade teacher, Mrs. Johnson or whatever the fuck, who like told him he was never going to amount to anything just with his smart ass comments and making all his jokes. And then he's like, if you're watching, fuck you. And I was like, fuck yeah. And I was like, yeah. That was like such a great moment. And then like Chris Rock, I remember we were at my grandma's house and it was my grandma, my grandpa, my dad, me, and my sister. And it was his Bring the Pain, his first special. It was like his first big special that he did. And like my dad, we're just watching it like uncensored. And like my grandparents were like straight-laced Catholic, old school Mexican. Like they had good sense of humor and they like to play pranks and shit, but like years later when my grandpa had died, like that week, like all the cousins were there. We were watching Genuine Pony music video on MTV, and like I have 4 other cousins the same age as me.
Yeah.
So we're just watching MTV, and it's Genuine's Pony, and my grandma comes in and she's like, he's gyrating and shit with his shirt open. She's like, "What are you guys watching? Don't you know that's the devil?" And my cousin Jared, he turns and looks at her and goes like, "Manana," we call her Manana. He's like, "Manana, that's not the devil. That's just a black man." Because she slapped her right upside the fucking head. But so like that's how straight-laced she is. So
yeah.
We're watching Chris Rock years before that when my grandpa's still alive. And I was just like, oh shit. Like I've never seen comedy like that before at that point. All the shit that I saw was all like TV friendly still.
Yeah.
So when that came out, like I'd never seen anything like that raw. For me, it was like what I imagined for other people when they first saw Richard Pryor. But for me, that was who I saw first at my age.
Yeah.
And like when he's doing the OJ jokes and shit, and he's like, I'm not saying he should have killed her, but I understand like that whole punchline and bit, talking about OJ killing Nicole and like listed all the reasons, like, and he keeps coming back to that. I'm like, you can say that shit? Like, no way. I was like, oh my God. And the thing was like, my grandma was laughing her ass off at like the dirtiest fucking comedy I'd ever seen at that point. And I was like, to me, that was just like, if that guy is so funny that even though he's dirty, it's making my grandma laugh.
Yeah.
A lady that didn't want to years later, was watching Genuine, but she's laughing at this. And my grandpa's laughing his ass off. And it was like the most moment that I saw my grandpa like as a guy.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it was cool too. Like
just let loose.
Yeah, he's a dude. Like, yeah, he's my grandpa, and he's the patriarch of the family, all those stuff, blah blah blah. But in that moment, he wasn't all this like magnanimous stuff. He was just a dude enjoying a dirty joke.
Right.
And it was like
Yep.
it was so cool to see, and that's why like for me, Chris Rock was like such a monumental moment because the way that I saw it and the impact that I saw comedy having on my grandparents.
Mm-hmm. That's
So,
cool, man.
Yeah.
I have a similar story. Is that you're done?
Yeah,
with
yeah.
your-
I was gonna say
Yeah,
your
mine
top
is Richard Pryor. That's like my comedy idol. Eddie Murphy and then George Carlin.
3. Nice.
My story is kind of similar to Pete's. When Eddie Murphy came out with Raw, which I think was like 86 or something, 87, when he had the blue suit on and the gloves and all that,
Yeah.
it just got picked up on HBO because it was done running its thing in the theaters. And I remember the opening, the opening skit where he's in front of his family as a kid and he does the lion kicked him in the ding, or whatever, the monkey kicked him in the ding ding joke, whatever. My dad already knew that was going to be the special. So he tells me, he's like, hey, you can't watch this. Because at the time I was like, I don't know, 11, whatever, 10. And he's like, you can't watch it. You have to go to your room. So I was like, oh, okay. Go to my room. And I just hear my dad losing his shit. I'm like 10, 11 years old. I'm used to, former U.S. Army sergeant, strict ass fucking disciplinary dude. So to hear him lose his shit,
Yeah.
to hear my dad genuinely laugh hard, that caught my attention. I remember I snuck out of my bed. I go with this really long hallway. I peek my head around the corner, and it's to the point where Eddie Murphy's, you probably can't do the joke now, but he's talking about the gay cops on top of the car, and he's like, woo, woo. Like, my dad's losing his shit. So
Out of respect for cops, you can't do that.
so my dad's losing his
The
shit.
thin blue line starts here.
Right. And it was a cool thing to see. Oh, my dad can cut loose and not be such a jag-off all the time.
Yeah.
I love him, but to see him in that moment, that Eddie Murphy, that's ingrained in my head. George Carlin, because the way he would just masterfully weave his set together.
Yeah.
It's really, conscious, very educational.
I don't have I have too much ADHD to have that much memory.
Yeah,
for it
right.
to,
Yeah.
like-
And his
Like,
you
look at
ever
this
break
shit.
his jokes down? They're very intricate.
I like didn't know if I should have notes on stage, but I can write them on my hand because I have hand tattoos. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do because I don't have the fucking memory. Like,
And then Richard Pryor, because I got to experience Richard Pryor twice. What I mean by that was I always grew up around Richard Pryor. My dad always had his albums. This is when they had albums.
yeah.
They didn't have
The record.
specials. Yeah, they had records. And he had it. My uncles would have it. And every now and then I would, sneak down. I'm like, why? I never, I didn't know what this was. And I hear it and, he's cursing and being all perverted. And I was like, dude, they record this shit? What the fuck? And then I slide the album back. But every time Richard Pryor did a special, it was the same thing. My dad's like, hey, you guys gotta go to sleep, whatever. So I grew up around, Richard Pryor and everything.
Yeah.
So he was always funny to me. And the one special that really struck a chord was Live on the Sunset Strip for two reasons. One, he had that really dope-ass red suit, and he had gold dress shoes. A lot of people missed that part. He had, like, gold-colored dress shoes. And that was cool because it was funny as Richard Pryor. But then in that special, he talks about, like, getting divorced, trying to move on. So after my first divorce, when I saw the special again, those jokes hit very different because it's something I experienced. Like, there's a joke in there where he's like, you ever get mad at your woman, you curse her out, and you walk out the house and forget your keys? You're like, yeah, bitch, whatever, fuck you. And then he gets out of there, he's like, shit, now I got to go back in the house and get goddamn keys.
I've had that moment.
But yeah, that special, it like I said, the first time I saw it, it was funny. But then when I saw it after I got divorced, and the material that he talks about, like trying to transition into single life after being married for someone, all that shit resonated with me. So that's why I hold Richard Pryor in that really high regard. Not only that, dude was always truthful about his shit.
Yeah.
I beat my women. I get pissed. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
And then
see,
Cosby comes out and he raped 50 bitches. That's like, well, we already knew about Richard Pryor. You know what I mean? But damn.
Yeah.
Had he just turned it into a bit. Cosby.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like Richard.
See, that's why.
Back then, he probably could have turned it into a bit and gotten away with
Oh
it.
yeah, absolutely.
Back in the fucking 60s, 70s, and 80s and shit. Yeah.
That's why I kind of like. I always got that vibe. Like, I like people like Richard Pryor or like fucking like Joey Diaz. They wear.
There's more of the comedians.
They wear their heart on their sleeve because you're like, this guy will cancel himself. Like some of the guys that are like playing a character or like doing like a one-liner shit, you're like, who is this guy outside of this? You know what I mean? Like, what are
Yeah,
they
yeah,
must
yeah.
like. They got some fucking dirt, under like. But I don't know.
That's how I feel about people that are too squeaky clean.
Yeah,
Like you don't have
Yeah,
any
I'm nervous.
vices.
They make me nervous.
There's a
yeah.
couple people that
Yeah.
we've talked about it. I don't.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to create drama, but there's people that are like so squeaky clean or whatever. And it's like, oh, dude, like I'm just waiting for the secret to come out. Like I'm not gonna hang out with you because then people are gonna think I was part of whatever the fuck you were. Like,
Yeah.
I can't. Like it's gonna come out that you touch kids or something. Like,
Yeah, I get along better with people that are just fucking delusional. Like they got a couple of screws missing.
Oh man, we're gonna be
Like-
best friends.
I blend in better with people like that. That squeaky clean shit. Nah, I don't trust that shit.
we're taking hours of our afternoon to record a podcast. Seen by what Phil said, 80 people. I think we're all fucking delusional.
Yeah,
We're all like, our opinions matter. People need to hear this shit. And then we're just all,
Yeah,
we're
dude.
just stoned as shit and going on tangents. Like we've made 0 points so far.
but
I don't know what the episode's about, but I'm having a great time.
we are not offering advice, people.
It is fine. I would
see,
rather
but-
listen to shit like this anyway.
But see, you know what? People love this shit because, like, they get to know who the fuck you are. Like, where do you come from? Like how many, like, you know what I love about, like, when, because I was in the music scene first. How many motherfuckers were pretentious? They didn't give up. Like there would be a guy like, oh, this guy's a more talented musician, but fuck, he had a $13,000 first guitar because he's a trust fund kid. Like you never knew who the fuck you could vibe with. And comedy, it's like everybody has their fucked up, vulnerable story that you just get along with. You just respect. You know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like it was early on in comedy, within like the first year and a half, is when it really hit me that hard. Where it's like I could just walk into any room, we're doing a show, doing a mic or whatever, and like it's really easy to just pick up a conversation with other comedians.
Yeah, yeah.
And like doing a show on the road, and you meet comics that the MC, the feature, and the headliner, nobody knows each other.
Yeah.
We've never met before, but by the end of the show, we're laughing our asses off. We're sitting
Hey
in the back
man,
of the
is
room.
that
we're
supposed to
having a good
sparkle
time.
like that?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
Rudy's gonna get so
It
scared.
did it every time.
it did.
Yeah. I know it's a fire hazard. It'll be fine.
It's hookah coal poisoning.
So what I deal with?
Yeah. So, but
13
yeah,
years
dude, it was
this
like,
fucking
no,
guy.
like getting. It was the first time I felt like, oh, I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
dude.
when I was in comedy. I'm in the right
Absolutely,
place.
yeah, man.
You know who made me feel that way? And it's I don't think he does comedy anymore. John Griffin. The reason I know of all fucking people, right? Don't worry, I love you, John, but for the sake of the fucking story, I got to play the villain. So he's on stage, right?
Yeah.
And this is Pete. Remember when the original Comedy Shrine in the little strip mall in downtown Naperville?
Yeah, above Bar Louie.
Right, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
It was a really small. If you would have stayed there, I would love that. But anyway, the really small. I think the room barely sat 100 people. Barely, like maybe 75. It was more like a black box theater type setup. And I started going there. It was before I got into stand up. I started researching mics or whatever the fuck. But I didn't know that was like. I thought like my first year in comedy. I didn't know the difference between an open mic and I'm on stage. What the fuck's the fucking difference? Like I didn't know until later. Anyway, the point is, John Griffin gets on stage, and I think this is like my second time going there. He does this. It's a bit. Do you don't know John Griffin, do you?
No.
Okay. He can do really dark bits, right? And he does this one where he talks about some kid in some other country. Her father was blind, and I think her brother had kidney problems or something like that. So you come from really poor circumstances. Family's all fucked up health wise and shit. So she winds up committing suicide.
Yeah.
They have the funeral. Everybody's like, "What the fuck happened?" Like, she was really young when she did this, and they cremated her, had the service, all this other shit. They go back home, and they're all in her bedroom mourning, grieving, and then the dad like drops down to his knees, and then he sees a note under the bed. He picks up the note, and it says, "Hey, I just can't take this anymore. I can't stand to see my dad suffer, my brother suffer, and mentally I'm not in the greatest capacity, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, please, I'm sorry, but when you get my body, give my eyes to my dad, and give my kidneys to my brother. But they cremated this bitch before they got the note. So John Griffin does this bit.
I forgot about that story.
Right.
That's a
Right.
Oh, fuck.
He does this bit.
That's funny.
And there's such a odd reaction to it because the comedians in the back are losing it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the audience in front, they're like, what the fuck did we just hear? And in that moment, I'm
irony
like,
is
oh.
hilarious.
I'm like, I belong with those people back there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the moment I had.
Yeah.
And this is like 2010. It was the year before I started comedy.
So I'm working on this bit I want to mention it so that way nobody knows it. Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm nicotined up. Anyways, I'm working on this bit where like this is a true story, and I'm not OCD, but I'm an overthinker.
That thing looks like a tracheotomy.
Yeah. I'm not an OCD. Gonna go RFK Jr. here.
He's got a breathing tube. Bro, that's what it looks like from here. Because he has it right here.
Bro, give
That's
it
fucking awesome.
Give it 3 more years. I'm gonna hook up the hookah thing right to my fucking throat. You know.
Yeah.
But so like I'm working on this bit about how like I start out like domestic violence is not fucking funny. Why are you guys laughing? And you know I was gonna be like because I grew up like my dad beating the shit out of my mom.
Yeah.
But I was such an awkward kid who's learning English that I was like everyone's telling me wrestling's fake. But my ma keeps losing. I'm like, you think she'd learn a new, you know? I'm like, this is like WWF. Like, Mom, I think this is scripted. Why do you fucking keep losing, you know? And then I go into about how
It's like the worst rivalry ever.
Yeah.
You keep what rivalry?
Right?
I'm like, haven't you found his Achilles heel after 19 losses? You know, like,
I
so
bet that's fake blood,
A
man.
punch in the balls once.
so I
Improvise.
so I go into this where like recently I had a friend of mine who she moved back here. I'm not going to mention her, but she moved back here because she was married to like this cokehead steroid user who used to beat the shit out of her.
The proud steroid user?
Huh? So
The guy that you said was a proud steroid user?
no, not that guy. No,
Oh
no.
my god.
No.
See,
But-
this is why I say like I don't know how Rudy and I are friends because we grew up way differently because of like shit like that. You said steroid user, I'm like, it's got to be the same one. Who would know more than
No,
one
no,
steroid
no.
user? You're like, no, this is a completely different person. I'm like, oh, okay.
No, so but she moved.
I fucking leave it to Beaver ass upbringing.
She moved back. She moved back and she was telling me about him, about like how she got beat up by this guy, and I was like I'm like, you know, like I'm sorry, but like let's hit some mics, you'll feel better. And like every time she talked about it, I didn't like going to mics because they thought I was the abusive boyfriend. I'm like, what? Why do I give off that vibe?
The mullet's not helping.
And then here's the punch is that because I'm not OCD, I'm not OCD, but I'm an overthinker.
Yeah.
The next time I saw her, she had like stitches on her back and she had a fucking like elbow brace, and I'm like, holy fuck, what happened? And she goes, oh, it's nothing, man. I told you I'm a wrestler. And then I'm like, well, okay.
What the fuck move was that?
Yeah. I'm because she got a fluorescent light busted on her back.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, because I'm an overthinker, you have to like tell me from a scale of 1 how bad these beatings are from whoever, so that I know the layer of how much I should feel bad for you. Because since, you know, if you're a wrestler, like how bad was the other beating? Like
Like you
yeah.
could take a punch.
yeah. I was thinking about that Olympics thing, like the moment every Italian dude was like, you know, that a man hit this woman, there's like, how come they get mad at me when I do it? Like,
I remember this one time Pete hijacked my fucking story. I was trying to tell earlier when I got jumped.
My bad.
oh.
Jesus.
Jesus.
I got into an altercation like, weeks before with this other dude. Got in a scuffle, whatever. Got his ass whipped. I didn't know he had two. Like that dude was like my size. I didn't know he had two big ass older brothers, right? And apparently, this is way before I started comedy. I had like a busted ass. Remember those Chevy Cavaliers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
was like a Kermit green. That's all I could afford. So you can't miss the
Like
fucking
that?
car. Yeah, exactly like that color.
Nice.
That fucking green wall. And everybody called it Kermit, right? So I have a very distinct car.
Is it like an Astro?
Did you like?
No, Chevy Cavalier.
Did
Okay.
you pull in a fat white woman so they could call her Miss Piggy?
Anyway, I get into this fucking fight. Right?
Did? Oh my God! He didn't deny it.
No
What
comment.
was the question? You trailed off.
Oh, I said.
All I heard was fat women.
Did you pull in a fat white woman so they could call her Miss Piggy into your Kermit green car?
Oh, ha. That's hilarious.
Well, it was funnier the first time. I don't have to fucking repeat
Oh,
myself.
motherfucker, you're the one with your nails, your fucking voice trailing off.
He pulled out
I
his
can't even fucking speak
snuffleupagus.
now.
Phil heard me.
Because you're getting me worked up.
Phil laughed. He heard me. He was right here.
Anyway, what am I talking about?
About your Kermit Green Cavalier.
Oh, yeah.
Piece of shit car.
So, anyway, so then I remember I went to the same bar. I got drunk as hell. I was by myself. I'm at a stop sign. This is out in Kendall County, like out in the sticks.
Yeah.
Come to this 4-way stop sign, and then this SUV just pulls up right in front of me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And this car is such a piece of shit. I'm trying to lock the doors, but because it's a temperamental fucking locking system, it wasn't locking. Because these two big country-ass white boys go on either side of my car. I'm like, what the fuck? So I before I could lock this one, I went to lock this one, but he
That's
opened
the
door.
first time I heard somebody lock a door because of white people.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And before I could even hit this one, this dude already opens the fucking door. He opened the door right before I got to lock it. And they're like, hey, we heard you beat our brother up a few weeks ago. I'm drunk as hell. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But this is why I know they've done this shit before. As I'm arguing with this fucking guy, this motherfucker undoes my seatbelt. This dude grabs a seatbelt out of my hands, and then he just drags me out of my car. And they started whipping my ass, but then they got mad because I was getting annoyed that they hadn't knocked me out yet. I'm like, let's just get this over with. I'm like, this is not going as planned. Like, you guys need to knock me on my ass. This is getting annoying.
Yeah.
You know someone's going to pull up here anytime. And they're just, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, like the Deadpool movies, they get annoyed with them talking shit. And they just tell him, shut the fuck. And this dude's like, I'm like,
Yeah.
you got to hit me, like, right here.
Thought I told
Why
you
am
to
I
go fuck
walking
your
through this
mother.
bullshit? Like, god damn, like, oh, fuck you. And they just, like, walked away. I mean, I was fucked up.
Yeah.
But they were getting more upset that I was telling them, can you not knock me out?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
bigger than me, bro.
Yeah,
Like, Jesus
bitch.
Christ. Yeah.
I had two almost mugging stories, so it's good we got on this topic. But this is I mean I guess almost mugging, but like I was working at a Jewel.
Bro,
like,
why do you always almost or kind of do shit?
like
You either get mugged or you don't, bro.
because I don't want to.
It's gonna be later. It's like I almost got AIDS once. It's like what?
Just almost.
What are you talking about?
Close call, you know. But the first one was
fucking
almost.
kind of started doing cocaine.
The first one was almost. The next one was full out mugging. But the first one was it was like right after college. I was working at this local Jewel Osco, and I was just this dude. I was such a fucking like man whore asshole. Like I was trying to bang every chick in the store because the one before would get jealous, so it was like easier and easier with the dominoes going down, you know? And like I started dating there was this Mexican chick named Selene, and
What
she
the fuck was her name?
Selene.
Selene?
Yeah.
It's like a dollar store Selena.
It is. She couldn't afford a manager that'll murder her.
No, her dad just kept her
That
alive.
was her name, Selene, or
Yeah.
you just mispronouncing it?
No, that was her name.
Her dad kept her alive and
I've never
believed
heard
in
of
her
that
and shit.
Selene?
Yeah.
That sounds
And
like a side dish.
And dude, so she kind of was a side dish. You know? but I was messing around with her, and I didn't realize like this was just random. I was just like stoned while we were banging, and I was like, oh my god, that's the most perfect. That I've never seen a more perfect ass. So I had to take a picture, you know. And I take a picture, and then like a week later, I was just like, this ain't gonna work out. We ain't like this is not like I'm sorry. She kept thinking I used her. I'm just like, no, I actually tried like being like having something going, but we just don't work. Even though I took a picture of your ass. Like and then after that week, like after that first time, she kept messaging me and I had to ghost her. So of course she got like her like 10 fucking Mexican cousins to try and kick my ass. They're like, yo, meet us up here, you fucking puss. And they kept messaging me. I kept blocking them. This was MySpace time.
Like then you specified her Mexican cousins. Like, what did you think her cousins were gonna be?
Yeah. But it was like, dude, I was a terrified little white. I was like Napoleon Dynamite in that lowrider, you know? So fucking.
Amazing.
So fucking, I kept blocking him, and then one of them messages me. He goes, "I keep looking at your MySpace profile. You look like a fucking bitch." And I got so mad that I set my Facebook profile to the picture of her ass. And they're like, "Dude, this guy doesn't care if we mug him. Like, fuck, he's too crazy."
He's a psycho. No,
That was way too much.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I look like an ass now? But no, dude. So let me tell you about when I actually got mugged. I was like, I grew up in like the punk scene and shit, and my buddy's
No,
like,
you don't say.
yeah.
Word, you?
So my buddy's like, "Yo, man, do you want to go to this fucking huge party like downtown?" And I went, and I didn't know it was like a fucking skinhead party. And I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna.
I would fit right in.
But you know what? It was so fucking weird. But like, I was just like, dude, I'm just gonna mooch as much beer as I can and then leave. And I didn't know. I'm like, it's so funny too because I have a bit where I do. I'm like I know that I'm Polish white because American white is they love small talk. I fucking can't stand small talk. So I'm at the skinhead party. I'm like, what do we small talk about here? You know? Like you guys,
The master race, obviously.
yeah.
Come on, Phil.
So I go up to this guy and I'm just like, man, so what are your favorite bands, whatever, you know, like, and he's just like, he's got like these two girls around him, and he's just like, "Don't talk to me, you fucking faggot." That's what he says to me, like right off the bat. I got so pissed off, I just like uppercut right in that Buzz Lightyear jaw right away.
To the Grand Wizard.
Yeah. So and then I start running, and I see another guy coming at me. I clotheslined his ass, and then I'm going down the stairs.
Sounds like an action movie, bro.
But yeah, it was. I John Wicked my way out of there. But then here's the thing: is like it was such an old Chicago apartment that like all the stairs.
It's the Phil identity.
It was like an old 70s apartment. So the fucking stairs in the hallway had that fluffy old carpet on the stairs.
Yeah, that shag carpeting.
And dude, I ate shit. I fell down those fucking stairs because I slipped once, and then all 8 of them, dude, they beat the shit out of me so bad. I had my eyebrow was like a baloney. I had 14 stitches. It was just like, and it was on a cold night, so you could feel the wind fluttering. You know, I had to take the L train home. You know, and.
That's brutal.
Like, and the one guy that was my friend there who took me, he didn't get my back. I was like, "You fucking bitch!" Like, why? He's like, "Why are you causing trouble? You uppercutted the guy." I'm like, he called me a faggot, you know. So, dude, like, crazy karma. 10 years later, I see this guy on the L train. The guy who didn't get my back, because what happened is like my family tried. Like, my mom's boyfriend tried getting some fucking brownie points enough for a hand job, you know. He's like, "We're gonna sue your friend," you know. But my friend, his dad's a Sicilian lawyer, so you know he ain't gonna fucking win that shit. So 10 years later, I see him on the L train.
I feel like that's a term that needs to be explained. Like, he's not actually a lawyer. Like, that's a term that's like,
Well,
I don't know. Like, he's a Sicilian lawyer. You know what that
Well,
means? Like, I have no
well,
idea.
I know. They're gonna fucking like muscle my family before the trial happens. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
some
yeah.
fucking.
He's not an actual lawyer.
Some
he's
horse
a
head.
Sicilian lawyer.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm gonna end up with some horse head in my passenger, seat, you know. So like, so I see him 10 years later on the L train, and I just like, bro, I was so pissed off because he was pissed off at me that he's like, "You started." I walk up to him, I put my fucking foot on his knee, and I just put a switchblade to his neck, and I'm just like, "No one's gonna get your fucking back now, huh, you little bitch? You don't got your friends here." And he ran out of there like Steven Seagal style with his fucking arms fluttering. And then he ate shit where like the door opens with the thing, and he busted his fucking the Sicilian schnoz. He got like a little bloody nose, like he just ate shit. It was like, I wish I would have gotten it. I'm like, dude, I wish I had that CTA camera footage, you know.
I feel like the way some of these stories have gone, he was going to end with him falling onto the tracks and getting electrocuted. On the L. I was like, there's no way this guy lived. Like, this is a casual story where Phil admits to committing manslaughter.
Dude, the weirdest thing is that like, because I used to think about it, I'm just like, why the fuck? Like, he was just my friend was just like a punk rocker. I'm like, why the fuck would he go to a skinhead party? And then I found out later that he was like a little closeted. So he's like, I like the uniforms that they wear. You know?
That's amazing.
So, but yeah. Anyways, man, We were talking about how we fucking worked at I want to hear some fucking crazy ass factory jobs. Who or stories? Who wants to start off? Some factory shit. What did you guys do? You paint. You've been painting your whole life, right?
Yeah, I'm like a 4th generation painter. I mean, my family's all blue collar
Yeah.
construction workers. So it's carpenters, plumbers, but mainly it's painters. So I'm like
What-
a 4th generation.
Did you say you did CNC?
Yeah. I worked in summers with my dad when I was in high school. He's a CNC machinist, and I would work like part time. He taught me some stuff in there, and
Did you make any side like cool shit with those machines where you like engineer it yourself?
no.
No.
I crashed the machine often enough that my dad was like, "You stick to what I tell you what to do." Like the first summer, I was just like a button pusher.
Yeah.
That's all I was. It's like load it, and then and that was it. And then like the next summer, by the end of the summer, he was teaching me how to set them up.
Yeah.
And then I came back home for college a couple times, and I was able to do more. And then I went to college for mechanical engineering, so I was actually able to do more of the coding and stuff. And like, he started writing some of his own code, and then I went through his code and like cleaned it up and made it better, and was able to like improve cycle times and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was still like working on the factory floor with them until I started to actually get like real engineering internship jobs. Like,
Dude, so when you mentioned button pusher, my ADD just went wild. Like these two fucking guys that I knew, they were hilarious. They worked on it. You guys know what a brake press is.
Yeah.
And so for anybody who doesn't, it's just a huge fucking metal wall that bends shit, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, one guy, so I worked at one place, and this guy, he was a nice guy, whatever. He always wore a backwards hat. He was Arabian. And then one day we went to go like, you know, at the end of the day, everybody goes to the bathroom, wash up. He took it off. And I was like, what the fuck is, he had this scar straight up looking like he survived a gunshot to the head. Like it looked like a fucking T-1000 wound, you know?
Yeah.
Like just like a flower, you know? And I was like, what the fuck is that from, you know? And I asked him, and he told me, oh, you know, this when I grew up in Saudi Arabia, we used to throw rocks and, you know, direct hit. That's what
we used to throw rocks. Okay, Braveheart.
he told me that. No, that shit is true though. Like, bro, you know, fucking side note, my ADD. You know, Lori Milbourne. You know what she fucking told me? She goes, her son, when he was a Marine, he was like a guard of like an American base. So you know, they're kind of like those British guys with the afro helmets, where like you gotta stay still. She said that her son got PTSD because he couldn't move while there was a Muslim woman who got she cheated on her husband, and they stoned her to death in the middle of the village.
Damn.
And it took 4 hours because that's how many like they just wouldn't like of suffering, like just of her fucking moaning.
Jesus
And he just got to stand there and like can't
That's
interfere.
because nobody grows up playing Little League Baseball, so they don't even know how to
Yeah.
fucking throw a ball.
I'm like, yeah. So this guy.
You do that shit in like the Dominican Republic. She's dead on like the 3rd pitch. That's pretty fucked up.
He didn't get, but so this guy, he told me he got hit in the head with a stone, and then I asked somebody else. I'm like, is that true, man? That's fucking crazy. He goes, no, that's not what happened. You know what fucking happened is. This is like I spit up my water laughing because what happened is, you know how like in Islam, like you have to pray like every 4 hours or whatever. I think they announced that you have to do mandatory overtime, and he would pray behind the brake press, like he had his carpet rolled out, you know. And he was so angry at double overtime that he was just violently praying, and he fucking hit his head against the floor. So,
That's what he did?
Yeah.
That's a much worse story. I would go with rocks in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I'm like,
I would 100%.
yeah. I'm like, that's way more embarrassing than getting a rock to the head. Like,
Yeah, I prayed way too hard.
Man, Allah was just sitting there like, bro, this isn't going to count. What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
You're not gonna affect change this way.
yeah.
It's like what you need to do is get a vest bomb
Then-
and strap it to your chest,
Then at
and
another.
then show them that you're serious about this no overtime shit.
I'm not taking these prayers seriously at all right now.
He just
No virgins for you.
Yeah. He hits the floor too hard, and then he's like, why are these virgins coming around? What's going on? Holy
Yeah.
shit, I'm dead. Like,
Also,
But-
what kind of virgin was you expecting to get with that head motion? It was like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't proud of prod in that.
but dude, fucking then this other guy, also a brake press guy. There's a guy named Gary. This guy looked exactly like what's the guy in King of the Hill with the orange hat and the
Brumhauser?
Boomhauer. Yeah, he looked exactly.
I barely know King of the Hill
I
enough
know,
to know,
me too,
like,
yeah.
to have gotten close enough to trigger the word for someone who does that.
Yeah, either Boomhauer or Dale. I don't know, but he looked he dressed exactly like him, and he was the most racist fuck I have. Like just N words every fucking day. Like it's that dude. It's annoying. Like every shop I worked at, the moment a white guy comes in, they're just like, so who do you hate? Like that's the fucking topic of
That's
discussion.
how you bond.
Yeah. So
Over our shared bigotry.
yeah.
He's
So
like, no, the Chinese are all right. I like their rest.
so the shit that made me laugh my ass off is like this Gary dude. He had like 40 fucking braces from the arthritis from doing fucking like brake press for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like the entire aisle of Walgreens like braces and shit. And I'm just like, dude, you know what's gonna happen is one day that fucking brake press is gonna fucking kill him. His ghost is gonna be in there, and there's just gonna be a racist machine just screaming out slurs, you know, with the fucking ghost in there. Well, yeah, dude, fucking.
I just keep thinking about the guy that likes Chinese food, like kind of racist. It's like they fry their rice. I understand that. I can get that with that, but putting tomato in it, that's just all sorts of wrong.
Dude, there was a guy one time. I was working at a family friend's business, so it was just me and him. He's like, "Yo, man, we're getting too much business. We gotta hire another helper, another bitch that just carries shit." You know, this guy was from West Virginia. Total same, everything you can imagine. The accent, the fucking, and right away he's like, "So what do you think of them blacks?" Just right away, and I just look at my boss. I'm just like, they're great. I don't know how to answer that.
No, you know what's fantastic about that is the fact that he said them blacks and didn't use the N word shows how progressive he is.
Yeah.
Like, give him credit where credit is due.
Each generation is like 10% better.
Baby steps.
10%.
Baby steps. Yeah.
Like, what? Like if I lynched somebody, it would be a polyester string.
Yeah, for comfort.
And then
a monster.
And then that was weird. So then he goes into Mexican, but he didn't say Mexican. He had the S word. I don't even know if we're allowed to say it. The spick and span.
Oh, I'm like rifling through all the slurs. I'm like S word.
Yeah, no, I knew, but I was
I'm
just
still
saying,
a
I
little
was trying
high,
to think of
too.
something else.
So then and same thing where it's like, and then I couldn't handle it because me and my boss are just smirking at each other like, who the fuck did we just hire? And then he goes, "What? You guys, you can't just sit quiet and tell me you don't hate the Jews. You can't tell me that." And
like,
he
that's
says
got to be an obvious one. Like, for him, he's just like,
and
for
right,
sure, like, right?
And right away, I knew like he had like a huge cross tattoo, and I'm just like, well, I mean, I could tell you've been getting down on your knees for one for your whole life. And I told him that because I was just like, it was driving me nuts. And dude, he's like, "What the fuck did you just say?" I'm just like, "Jesus is a Jew." Like, you don't know that with that fucking tattoo, bro? And that he didn't show up ever again. That was his last. I blew his fucking mind that day.
You've been getting down on your knees for one. It's like, no, I haven't. It's like, don't you pray? Oh,
I remember one
what
time.
a snowflake.
Yeah, right. I remember one time I was sitting at lunch with that Gary dude, the brake press race, and he's just like, it's like, "Phil, you're kind of queer. What do you think of them trans swimming? With the whole Leah Thomas? Like I'm the representative,
Because you're kind of queer?
Yeah.
Based on what?
You know what he told me one time? Like I did this bit, but people get upset because they think I'm like. He literally told me, he's like, "You hold that wrench like a queer," and I'm so open minded. I'm just like, how do queers hold wrenches? I never seen that before. Can you? And how do you know? How do you know?
How do you have that frame of reference?
So
Gary.
But he's telling me that shit. He's like, "What do you think of this whole trans swimming thing?" And I'm just like, "Well, Gary, I can tell you this: the fact that you give a fuck about swimming suddenly, you're the gayest motherfucker I know." He got pissed.
You don't give a shit about swimming. You haven't thought about swimming once in your whole life.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, I have plenty of trans friends. You are at the top for giving a fuck about swimming. Like, but no, dude. I had so many there's so many goofy factories. I think I might have told you about this. There was a guy who he had sleep apnea and he had gout on his feet. Like his feet, he didn't have feeling. Dude, and he was in the grinding department. So there's all these fucking like curly fries of metal, One day he's so fucking tired. he walks in and forgot to put his shoes on. So he's just walking around, and there's just like, I'm like, dude, is this like the 12 stations of the cross of Jesus? Because there's just a streak of blood from his fucking gout feet.
Ew, and he hadn't felt nothing.
And he didn't feel shit. And then
It's like Mr. Deeds, like Adam Sandler's nasty ass foot.
yeah, and then fucking like we didn't know what to say to him. And then like by the time we thought about like what to do, I look over, and you know like what a air compressor cutting wheel is like. The shit they fucking cut your cast open with. Dude, he fell asleep with it on, with his head down, with it an inch from his stomach. I'm just,
oh my god,
like, how the fuck do you do that?
Christ.
We were like, and like I feel bad for the guy. I'm like, dude, this guy's trying to. He was just trying. He had like 4 different jobs. He never slept. He's trying to support his kids. I work with a bunch of racist fucking Polacks. He's like, look at this fucking black guy, like sleeping all the time. They were so mad. They wanted to take a picture of every place he fell asleep to make a calendar for the shop.
That's awesome. That's fucking funny, dude. Fucking, that shit's amazing. Oh, that's fucking funny, dude. I was working
I'm not
at
ever working 4 fucking jobs. I'll just deal drugs. Fuck that.
Yeah. Open an OnlyFans account or something like
Yeah.
that. Someone's got to be into this somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It just reminded me. Coinciding with it, when you were talking about like different sayings that you're like, what the fuck does that mean?
I'm horrible
for
at
the for the longest thing. I was like, what the fuck does pull yourself up by your bootstraps? Like all you boomers saying that shit, you got Velcro straps. Like
they're all wearing slip-on shoes and shit.
Yeah. I'm like, what
they haven't tied a lace.
What are bootstraps? How does one do that? You know, like I don't know what the fuck that meant, but anyways, man.
No, I had a job. It was during the recession, so I took whatever I could get because my unemployment, even with the extension, my unemployment was running out.
Yeah.
And so I took one as a quality inspector because that's all that was open. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. Let me at least get my foot in the door here. And then who knows, maybe something will open up in engineering later down the road.
Yeah.
And so I start working as a quality inspector out there. And my fucking boss, I fucking hated her so much. She was such a fucking bitch. And just like we did not get along. We butted heads. I'd always try to do a little shit to undermine her. Like I remember we were in a meeting one time. So we're in the conference room. And she would wear so much fucking perfume. Like so much. Like you could smell her coming from like a mile away.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she would just blast that shit on. And so we're sitting in the conference room. And like I took advantage of the fact too that she was just kind of like dumb when it came to like pop culture and shit.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, Daisy, what perfume is that you're wearing?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I don't know. I just bought it at the store yesterday. I'm like, oh, I thought it was that new one by Kim Kardashian called Too Much.
Yeah.
And everyone else started like laughing, like, oh, shit. And she's like, I haven't heard about that one. No, I have to look it up. I'm like, yeah, look it up. It's called Too Much. I think you'll really like it. So, like, that's the kind of shit that I did to her. She had pissed me off so bad that morning because I clocked in right on time, not like early. So it's like, oh, well, you're on time, but you're late, so I'm going to write you up anyway. I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
But because I'm not on the floor to do my job at 6 a.m., I was like barely walking into the building. So I'm not late, but so she wrote me up anyway. So like, fuck you, you bitch. She left her phone just lying there.
Yeah.
And she had gone, whatever. So I'm like, fucking awesome. I got to go over to inspect the boxes.
Yeah.
And like, I initial the ones that I inspect. Right, and they leave them open because making sure the count's right. They're putting in the right product and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, we go and do like a spot check, a little quality audit. So when I went to do a spot check, they had left multiple boxes open. So I'm like, fucking sweet. So I'm like, I'm not gonna initial the one. I took her phone and I put it underneath the fucking layer.
Yeah.
She didn't know where her phone was, but it was an iPhone. So she finally, like, later, like, she's like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Like, the next day, she goes, I have to, like, find my phone because it's still on. And she's like, why the fuck is it in, like, Jersey and shit? And she's tracking her phone, like, across the ocean. And that shit went to Subaru, and they're like, why the fuck is there a phone in our product?
Dude, I this is so fucking okay. This was my only office job. And okay, when I was working there for about a year. It was C.H. Robinson. You ever hear that? The fucking third party logistics shit.
No.
There's like I know
Yes, I can see their logo. Yeah. I can see their logo.
There's one on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
That I was working in the Lincoln Park one, and like it's a revolving door. I know 5 comedians who've worked there. Adam Quaslow worked there, and fucking Winslow Dumaine. And so
That's 2.
Yeah, well. All right. I'm trying. It's a work in progress. The drama and the exaggeration.
I was waiting to hear 3 more names. Like, who else?
So called out, man. You got it. I'm a change man.
Are those
But-
guys not as important as the other fucking guys?
I honestly, I don't remember because they were there for like a week. The place was fucking awful, and so I was working there for like 6.
I'm sorry, I just do shit like that all the time.
No, it's all good. But I was like, so I was working there for 6 months, and this new chick got hired, and I guess she had like a crush on me, and I'm already fucking like 2 years married. So we had, you know how like office places, they do those cheesy fucking like, oh, we're having a work party at Chili's or something, you know?
Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah.
So we-
stab me in the throat.
Yeah, so we went to it was at Joe's on Weed Street, and
I like that place though.
she like it was a decent party, good food, but like, you know, like I was there 6 months, so I'm trying to talk to everybody. She's there like a week. She's like, yo man, you want to go do blow in the bathroom? And I'm like, I'm not really. I'm cool. She's like, okay, but do you want me to blow you in the bathroom? And I'm like, so you just want to go to the bathroom just to blow me? I'm married, and that's a weird request for anybody. Like, yo, you want me to blow you right away? Like, I know you for a week, you know. So she got
That would be like my best friend. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, you're married. That's a different situation. I
Yeah.
understand that. But like, if that happens and Steven's like, you're the best friend I've ever had.
But so it reminded me of like when you said you know, what cologne do you have, the too much, whatever.
Yeah.
So this bitch's name, her name was Meredith, and bro, she looked just like Meredith from The Office.
Ugh.
Every Irish bitch looks like that Meredith. Like they hit 12 years old, they
Oh
look
my
like
God.
they hit 12 years old, they look like a 40-year-old Meredith. Like that's how Irish chicks look.
Phil's basement is just a safe space, like the trust tree in fucking old school where Will Ferrell just starts saying all the dumb shit. He's like, every Irish bitch looks like Mary. It's like, Jesus.
So-
He's like, no, guys, it's okay. I painted my wall green.
So so like she was so upset that I turned the blowjob down. That like
I mean, that is mean.
that like
That would be so. I'm just trying to think of the psyche of a woman. It's like all you hear is like, no guy would ever turn you down, never. So to get turned down, that's gotta be so fucking damaging.
Right? Yeah.
like, is he gay? No,
No,
I don't know what's wrong
even.
with him.
I saw him getting a blowjob from some other bitch 5 minutes later in the bathroom. She was actively shitting. He had no problem with it. It was me. That is so mean.
So now that you gave me your perspective, I understand a little better now.
Bro, her ego was completely fucked up.
Yeah.
The rest of her life.
Oh, she's ruined forever.
Yeah, bro. So every day after that, she would like
Kept turning her down.
no, yeah, well, no. I would just talk with people during like downtime, and she had to interrupt every fucking thing. It would be any. I'd just be like, hey, Rudy, so what mic did you do? She's like, you know, and you're about to talk. She's like, oh, I've been to that bar. I've been to that. You know, one time I went to that bar. Like every fucking time.
Oh shit! You almost got baby reindeered.
And dude, seriously, and you know what? And what pissed her off is I go. First thing that she interrupted the conversation. She goes, "Hey man, you want to see my Frida Kahlo pin?" And I'm just like, I was so upset that she kept it. I'm just like,
Was she Hispanic?
no, she was a white Irish chick.
And she,
you know?
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
She just-
And
she's-
she was all about Frida.
She's
a poser.
she's like the white woke, the skinny white
Yeah.
woke chicks that they coexist stickers and shit. You know,
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
so fuck.
I'm
So
laughing about how you ruined her.
So she goes, you want to see my Frida Kahlo? And I'm just like, all right, guy. Like I literally said this out loud. I'm like, all right, Meredith's got to interrupt.
Meredith.
Well, let's see her fucking pin. You know. And then I go, who the fuck is Frida Kahlo? I literally didn't know. I have no context. I never knew who the fuck this is. And she's just like, you don't know who Frida Kahlo? She's like the biggest woman in the feminist like world. And I'm just like, well, what did she do? And this is the way she explained it. She goes, well, she was like, she lived in a communist government and she had polio and she had a unibrow. She wasn't really that good looking, but she let every communist fuck her so that she could express herself artistically. And I'm just like, that sounds like a whore to me. That doesn't sound like. And she got.
You just described 5 seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
So then after that, she kept it. I'm just like, all right, guys, we're gonna play a new game. I go. We're going to play a game where every time Meredith interrupts, we're taking a shot, and I will order the ambulance on standby for alcohol poisoning. And everybody broke out laughing, and then she went to the fucking office. I didn't know what the fuck. I was like, I didn't see anything, man. The next day I go into work, and I got an email, and even my wife saw it, that I was charged with, like, sexual harassment. I'm like, what the fuck did I fucking... They said, because you used the word whore at work. That was the sexual harassment.
Are you supposed to be talking about this on the podcast?
I don't know. Well, like I'm gonna get in trouble.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I talk about
Got a
anything.
pending court date for this very same thing.
No.
Guys, it's fine. It doesn't come out for like 6
Well, no,
months.
it wasn't like a legal thing. It was just like work at. It was like a strike at
Oh,
work.
I thought you like
You said
actually got
charged.
charged.
No,
So
charge like at work to where they're like, oh, this is like a new fucking, dude. The second time was even funnier because there was
Second time I got charged.
not harassed, not that, not.
I was like, God damn, Phil.
Holy shit!
You learned the first time, motherfucker. Shit.
No, not with sexual.
You gotta just change that to confessions. Phil's confessions.
No, dude.
That was
No,
amazing.
the second time
Like, bro, this is the most abstract philosophy I've ever heard.
Oh my
No.
god, we are all over the place. I have no idea what's going on.
yeah, no,
Oh, it's amazing.
no, I meant
Oh
like
shit, I don't. Yeah, all right. I got it.
the next time I got a strike at work.
I still got
You're a
that
bowler?
side stitch.
Yeah, every
No.
fucking.
No, he's playing baseball, dummy.
I did the whole kingpin hustle until I
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
until they shoved my hand into
God,
a
I love that
fucking-
movie so much.
That's me and my wife's favorite fucking movie.
Yeah?
That's like that's like
Oh, that's cool when you have that. Yeah, when you got that.
It's such a
cheesy,
classic,
crazy,
dude.
funny movie. Yeah.
I remember it got so much shit when it first came out. Too.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
What happened?
man.
What was it
That
like?
offended
Just
everybody.
for being really vulgar. It was. It wasn't like even like they were offended for like.
It's just like raunchy to it, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was too
super
raunchy.
raunchy,
Is
yeah.
what it was. It was like this is so crass.
Oh,
and
dude.
sophomoric.
There is
Like,
not one movie that those brothers made that wasn't good. Fucking Kingpin, Dumb and Dumber, something about Mary. Like what?
Yeah.
What else did that? What was it? Me, Myself, and Irene. Like
Oh, that was amazing.
they like those guys are awesome. I don't know if they'd be able to make a movie today, but those.
Yeah, but people got offended back then at the. They both got offended at the same movie, but the reason
I think
people
also
today get offended.
Shallow
for it-
Hell too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Shallow.
So but yeah, but the reason people are offended today is for a completely different reason from what they were offended. They're like,
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
like, no, the racism is fine. It's like, did we like Van Wild? Do we have to see them jerk a dog off into an eclair?
Yeah.
Like that's what people are mad about. And then like today, people are like, no, it was the misogyny. They're like, no, the misogyny's okay. That's hilarious.
Are you kink shaming? Because some of us jerk off dogs into our eclairs.
Did anybody get the consent from the dog before they started jerking him off? That's
Yeah.
the main problem.
I don't understand how PETA didn't make this into a bigger issue. PETA's like, we tried, but everybody gave no shits. They just thought it was
Okay.
icky.
All right, so let me tell you this second strike I got because
Yes.
you're gonna fucking die from laughing from this. Okay.
Okay, good. I'm
So
recovering.
so the day so I'm gonna tell it in order. First day there was a fucking questionable fucking.
I'd really prefer if he gave this the memento treatment. It went back and forth and cross cut.
Oh yeah.
Give it some Christopher
That'll
Nolan pizzazz.
that'll happen naturally with my ADHD, dude. Like that's this whole podcast every episode. Oh yeah. By the way, you know the other things that we fucking like, other sayings I don't understand.
Yes.
No, but fucking.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So like there was a question, like this is the context. There was a questionable fucking white dude on our logistics team. He was a dude that was like obsessed with fucking guns. He loved like Louder with Crowder. He was a fucking he does think there's gonna be a race war, so he's got like a prepper bunker and shit. And one day he was talking me into wanting to go hunting with him. And I was like, oh, what can you go fucking hunting with, Because I heard there's all these rules, like you got to have a single shot rifle. And he's like, no, dude, I got this guy. he's got a sheep farm and coyotes attack it. So man, I throw pipe bombs at those coyotes.
Oh my god!
And I'm like,
easy, Mr. IRA.
and I'm just like, I'm like, is that legal? He's like, oh yeah, you just got to get it stamped by the
Isn't that
ATF.
IRA a stock thing investment? Are you thinking of the NRA?
No,
No, the Irish Republic or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? This IRA, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking. Because they use a lot of pipe bombs in
It's
their
both
attacks.
IRA. IRA is a retirement
wow. I
plan
totally
and
missed
and
that.
a
Okay.
Yeah, the
terrorist
Roth
group.
IRA.
I totally missed that. Okay,
But-
my bad.
He's telling me this shit, and I'm just like, wait, you throw pipe? I'm like, so like, I mean, what? I could go after it with like a Rambo knife? He's like, if you want, coyotes are considered rodents in the state of Illinois. I'm like, okay. So he's helping me shop for a gun while we're at work, and there's people just seeing my screen full of fucking. I'm like, well, I'm a Polak, so I kind of want to get AK-47. Got that communist in me, you know. And I didn't realize that people saw my screen. So the next day, we had a you know how like in Office Space there was that Bill Lumberg where he goes, you know, you got to get those TPS reports, like something that a boss regularly says.
Right.
We had a boss, this guy named Ed, who every sentence he ended was with, "Does that make sense?"
I knew a girl like that. I hated her so much.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
So we're talking about what present should we get for his birthday. I go, dude, on Etsy they make these like soundbite custom bobbleheads where when they're head bobbles you could put whatever, and so it'd be funny with his head bobble and just does that make sense? Does that make sense? You know. So then that day, they pull me in the office. I'm thinking I'm getting a fucking raise. And they're sitting down there like, yo, Phil,
A raise?
so you've been here for 6 months. Do you like this place? I'm like, oh, and I'm saying all these things that I shouldn't say because I'm like, I fucking love this. This place is out of this world. I'm fucking blowing this place up. You know, I'm doing well, you know? And he's just like, blowing this place up. What does that mean? I'm like, well, you know, I'm doing really well. He goes, well, what I meant by blow, and I'm laughing when he said blowing this place up because I'm picturing him as a bobblehead. So I'm just laughing. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You know? So I'm laughing. He's like, Phil, are you doing okay? I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, somebody saw you shopping for guns. That's what we mean by blow this fucking place up. I was like, holy shit. I did not know this would happen, you know, and it blew over, but.
Right.
And then I shot up the place the third day. No.
Nice.
But anyways.
What
Yeah.
was your kill rate?
Was my other body count? Right? No, dude, that place was so fucking ridiculous, bro. Like, I remember one time that I got in trouble. Like, I cannot survive in an office environment.
No,
I
I can't.
cannot, dude. One time they had the CEO in of the entire international company from Minnesota, and dude, it's fucking 8 a.m, and they ordered all you can eat Portillo's Italian beefs.
Ew.
So they didn't.
They're gonna have a nasty bathroom situation.
Well,
for the day.
well, they didn't eat it, and my Garfield ass saw that shit, so I just took the whole fucking tray to my desk, and they're just like, the boss went up, like my manager went up to me, like the district man, and he's like, so you like taking free food, huh? And I'm just like, why? You got more? Like that was and he fucking flipped. He's like, dude, that was the CEO's Italian beef. I'm like, they're gonna throw it out. Who gives a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
I would get, and then the next.
He's not gonna take it home. So.
Yeah, I don't know why they would get fucking. But then you know what happened next is like, you know, they have those cheesy office like contests, like, oh, we're gonna have a putt at the end of this month, or we're gonna have a raffle. They had a fucking hot wings contest at the end of one shift. They
What the hell? Do they just like? Do they hate their plumbing? What the hell?
So here's the thing.
What the fuck is the next day? Chipotle for dinner?
Next day is make these crave case, you know.
Don't forget about White Castle Wednesdays.
Yeah. But so dude, I clock out. I'm supposed to clock out at 4. I go to the bathroom at 3:30.
Yeah, no shit.
No, but here's the thing. I didn't know. They're like we're gonna have 2 people from each department, and whoever wins gets lunch for the whole week for the whole department. I didn't even fucking remember that email, so I just go to the bathroom at 3:30. And you know whatever, I'm like, oh, and then they do the contest, and they had all these fucking white bitches like chugging down milk because they're throwing up into a garbage can, you know.
Oh.
So then because they can't handle the spice, you know, like. So
Dude,
then,
there's like porn directors who are like, dude, that sounds insanitary. There's
So-
like people that have done bukkake. They're like,
Yeah.
ew. You guys are gross.
so I get out of the bathroom and I just see this table full of leftover wings, and I just start fucking eating them. And they're like, "Holy shit, dude! You ate fucking 9 wings in a row." And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "You could have just won $200 and lunch for your district." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "There was a contest." I'm like, "No, bitch, I'm just hungry and a mooch." You know, I fucking
You would have won everything.
so. I don't know what other.
Just sitting over there like Brando's like, you could have been a contender. Yeah. I could have been somebody.
Dude, I fucking you know what other factory story I had, because it reminded me of how you were talking about this bitch with the perfume and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Worst job I've ever had in my entire fucking life. You know, off the bat it was the worst because when they call you instead of you calling them, right? I'm just sitting around. I was applying for shit on Indeed, and they're like, "Yo, we saw your application. We think you're the perfect fit." I'm like, "Where the fuck did you hear of me? You know, like, where the fuck? Who is this even? Is this a job or a person? You know?" And it was this place.
They're like, you want to play a game?
Yeah. Phil Iseki, you want to play a game? Like, but they fucking like it was this boat place. They made, you know, Mastercraft boats.
Yeah, I know.
Those yuppie ass fucking wood panel Cadillac of boat, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They had their one factory is in Vernon Hills, and it was during COVID. So they you know how like they were like only essential businesses open, bro. They welded one fucking medical cabinet and it let them stay open, and so yeah, that's what they did to be essential.
That's funny.
That's what they like. Who the fuck needs a medical cabinet on a boat, right?
Right, yeah.
They did that so that they could get the stamp of approval, and then all like 80% of welding places were shut down. We got all their fucking work. So dude, I almost
That's a gangster ass shit right there.
I almost fucking blacked out because we were working 80-hour weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I only want 40-hour week. I cannot, and I'm getting like gaslit by everybody. I'm like, why you guys think this is normal working 40 hours? And then I didn't realize until the end, everybody there was a felon with a DUI. That's why they're working 80-hour week because nobody else will hire them. But dude, this place is I don't even give a fuck. This place is called Gear Marie. Like Richard Gere and the Marie, right? And you know when they do the stupid ass fucking training in the beginning, we're like, oh, you know, we started off at a garage from rags to riches. I'm sitting there, I'm like, why the fuck is it called Gear Marie? That's so fucking, it's such a weird name. He goes, oh, well, it's the name of the owner and his ex-wife. And I'm like, well, that fucking sucks. It's like an old tattoo. You know, why the fuck would you? You got to stay. Your business is doing well. You got to have your ex-wife's in the name. And then, bro, a few weeks go by. There was a floor manager guy named Scott who I fucking hated. Typical racist ass white dude. And the thing was, every factory has different rules. Like, oh, you could have headphones. Oh, this place you can't have headphones, but you can have a speaker because we need to hear us yelling at you, you know? So this place, you could only have a speaker, but this Scott dude, he was so racist, he thought every Mexican guy was in a gang. So he would only go after me listening to my music because he's like, they don't even understand the English,
Yeah.
you know. So he would go after me, and I went up to my lead. I'm like, how the fuck is Scott not fired? Because the way he's the way he fucks with people. He go, dude, I wrote him up 8 times this week. He's best friends with the owner. So I'm like, whatever the fuck, and I just like threw something in the air, and I'm walking away, and he goes, by the way, Phil, it's the reason why she's an ex. I'm like, holy fuck.
Damn.
So the owner, this guy Scott, fucked the owner's wife, and then he hired him at his job. The guy who fucked his wife. The guy who cucked his ass. You get what I'm saying?
Scott, the racist, cucked the owner, Gear.
Scott fucked Gear's wife.
Gear's what? He fucked Marie.
Yeah, he fucked Marie.
And still works for Gear.
Yeah, so the guy...
And they're still like best friends.
Yeah.
So this guy fucked his wife, and he got mad at her for betraying him.
Yeah.
And forgave the friend.
And then gave the friend a job. Yeah.
That is some friendship. That is beautiful.
That is fucking... Dude, that's...
Like, I don't think we have that kind of friendship.
No,
No.
we don't know.
I don't think we're there yet.
No.
So,
What are you hinting at?
I do not.
No, but...
well, Rudy's not married. So.
Oh, okay.
No, I can't do that shit no more. Fuck that.
No, dude. You know what? So
I don't wish any ill upon people, but just for the sake of like the bit, I wanted Rudy to get another divorce so that he followed the rule of 3. Like I wanted to call him Ross of the comedy scene so bad.
Dude, I had to finally do a stupid ass post like 2 years ago to check everybody. Like, stop roasting me about my
The divorces.
Like, divorces. I've only got 2. But dude,
Yeah.
like it was a running joke for like years.
Well, the thing that happens is like me and Excel will make fun of you.
But you guys are my best men. You
Yes,
guys
and we're
can
like,
do it.
Yeah, because we're so close and
Yeah.
friends. But then everybody else is like, oh, well, Pete and Excel are making fun of him, so like this joke must be okay. So then everybody just wants to get in on the joke.
Yeah, because Pete and Excel, or more Pete, they would drop it in their set at an open mic or something. But it didn't make it in the final bit at a club. It was just a little whatever roast joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think other comedians started getting comfortable with this shit.
Yeah.
I started getting roasted by motherfuckers who don't even know me. Like never went to the wedding, nothing.
Yeah, they were,
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, guys. This
it gets a little
yeah,
under
it's
your
getting
skin.
a little redundant. Like we need
yeah, like
fucking-
you're not in on this joke.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's funny too because I know what feeling you're talking about. It's like you're not putting a fucking kink in my armor. You're just fucking like it's getting annoying.
It's an annoying fly. Yeah.
because you know what, that shit happened to me where like, you know, like I'm kind of like a roast comedian. I started out doing roast battles, so like I had a roast where somebody found out, they're like, oh man, he said like his whole life he was like made fun of for being fat. So the whole roast was fat jokes, and I'm just like this is, and what annoyed me is they won, and I was like, I don't even care about the joke. I'm just like, this was hacky that you
Yeah,
did every
you
joke
won.
Yeah.
about that, and it happened to me again where I was like, I was doing a roast where Louis J. Gomez was judging in Wisconsin, and I roasted Connor O'Hara, and we were going at each other like, what are our flaws, so that we have like a mutual like let's do this mutually so that we can make the audience laugh and we be the best roast. And I told him that I knocked out a blind dude. That was my friend. And every joke was about me knocking out blind people. Like I was
Yeah,
like,
everybody latches onto like the one thing.
right. Yeah.
and he won. And I was like, dude, come on. Like, you know, if this was anything else, like if it was like all race jokes, you would have lost because that's hacky, you know.
Right,
But yeah.
I was at a
I
roast
don't-
at the Comedy Shrine, and this is the one, their second location.
Yeah.
So not the mall, but
Right.
the old Enchanted Castle one. We were at a roast there, and I don't know whose roast it is. I think it might have been one of yours, but I'm not 100% sure whose roast it was. But there's a comic on there who, like, I don't want to say her name because I don't want to, like, it was a good joke, but I
Because
don't
we're
wanna
trying
do-
to work on my drama, you know.
But you could just
Talk about it after the show. you know.
Yeah,
I need to know.
Yeah. So, but anyway, no, and I'm friends with her. She was cool and everything.
Yeah.
But every joke by everybody else on that dais was how they was something just vulgar about how they wanted to fuck her, and like everybody just kept trying to like.
Oh, that was at the Comedy Shrine.
It was at the Comedy Shrine.
I forgot whose roast it was.
But you know which comic I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking
Short.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not
And,
saying anybody you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, she was attractive.
It was
and
Lori
everything, too.
No.
Milbourne.
No,
No,
she
this
was
is like
attractive and all.
10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, she was attractive and all, but it wasn't even like there were no punchlines and there was nothing clever about the sex jokes. It was just like everybody like aristocrat style one upping each other of like how vulgar they
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
things to her body like that. And I was just like, dude, it's not even funny. And you
No.
could tell she was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went up and I did the joke and I'm like, everybody's been talking about how like the dirty, nasty things they want to do to you. And like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to make
Yeah.
that joke about, I'm going to be honest. I have no desire to fuck you. But it's not because I'm such a great guy. It's because I'm happily married. I'm not going to throw away that on a
Yeah.
40-year-old open micer.
Yeah.
And like, that was a vicious cutting joke. But then like after the roast, she's like, that was so funny. She's like, thank you for not being a pig.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we're friends. Like that. Like, I hope I wasn't too mean. It was funny. She's like, no, that was hilarious. That was a great joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, plus I work more than you. Like, I don't care.
I remember when they did Joe Larkin's roast. And I think Ian Ellis was the roast master. And this is before Ian Ellis and I got into it, whatever. And I go there. Remember Kevin Rappel, I think it's Rappel? He was sitting next to me. I wasn't on the dais or anything. I just wanted to go to hang out, whatever. And so this is back in my drinking days when I was drinking all the time. So I get there and I'm just knocking him back. And then Ian comes over, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "the comedians want to know if you want to come up here and say a few things." I'm like, "Bro, I'm drunk as fuck." I'm like, "It's not a good idea." First of all, I don't like doing roasts because I suck at them. The only way I'm good at roasting you is if you piss me off. Then I can go into beast mode. You know what I mean? So I was already drunk. He came out almost 3 different times, finally. The third time, he's like, "Rudy, come on." Like, they're asking. All right, fine. I go up there and, what was that dude's name? Jeremy, Daniel. I was like, it looked like a fat bastard and somebody else got together and had a baby. Like, it started getting personal. I was up there like maybe 5-6 minutes. And, I mean, they were funny, but I was fucking drunk. Yeah, it was mean-spirited. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm not good at this.
Dude, so you know what I wanted to ask? I know this is a weird segue, but when you were talking about, I think you were talking about earlier about somebody that you knew with a drinking problem. Yeah. What is the gauge of what you guys consider a drinking problem? And I'm asking because like I was like talking to my fucking bosses at this Italian carpet shop. He's like, dude, I have fucking 2 beers every single day. Like at dinner.
I don't drink like I used to. He knows it.
Yeah. So well, I don't think that that's a problem, even though some people, like medically or some, that might qualify as a drinking problem if you have 2. But I don't think that that's a problem. This is whatever. Like, to me, it's like if it's detrimental to your life in some way, like it's affecting your relationships or your ability to maintain or perform at your job or maintain your responsibilities, like you're passing up paying your bills so that you can drink or whatever, stuff like that, then like it doesn't have to be like destroying your life completely, but like if it is affecting you in a negative way, then that's an issue. But like
because I've heard so many different fucking like I had a falling out with a friendship, I think number 24, but like I had a falling out because my buddy was like, "Yo, man, do you think I have a drinking problem?" And he was like, that guy in like after high school where you guys just chill every fucking day, just He was my homie. He was my fucking blood brother and shit, and like we were like getting breakfast at like 11. He's like, "You think I have a drink problem?" I'm like, "I don't know because I get seizures, so I don't really drink a lot because the fucking medication and shit." I'm like, "How much did you have today?" He's like, "Well, it's 11 a.m. and I'm already on like number 9. I'm like, "Yeah, I think that's a problem."
I mean, unless it's a tailgate at 11 a.m. or it's like a picnic or some shit, a special day.
Yeah.
No,
it wasn't a special day. It was just this day,
Anything before 11 a.m., you have a problem.
Yeah.
See, but like situations like that, I'll fuck up the friendship because if they say like, "Hey, Rudy, do you think I have a drinking problem?" Like, yeah, but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like, you're not offending me.
But they fucking, I can't stand it when you tell them that, but you're being blunt and they fucking hate, because they're looking for somebody to enable them. They're looking for somebody to agree with them. That's what happened to me.
Oh, no, I just told the dude, I'm like, "Yeah, you got a drinking problem."
Yeah, it's like when the person asks you, like, "Hey, if you had a time machine, what would you do?" Because they just want to tell you their answer.
Yeah.
Then you got mad. He's like, "Well, damn, like, you have to say it like that." I'm like, "Bro, I don't care if you have a drinking problem. You don't fuck with me. If you're looking for someone to help you get sober, I'm the wrong person."
Like, I'm sure your kids don't like it, but I'm fine with that. I don't give a fuck about your kids. Fuck your kids.
Dude, I had that friend that how you were talking about where like, the stable alcoholic. And I had a friend on my old podcast where he just like, it's the blind dude. Where I would just fucking
Wait, he's blind and he's an alcoholic?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. No, this dude no, not just an alcoholic. He would take.
Was he always blind or did he go blind?
He went blind.
Is it because he was drinking too much?
No.
Oh, okay.
So but he can still get like drunk and then like imagine shit.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, because I'm like, if he was blind from birth,
that would suck.
Yeah.
But like,
no, but this
he
guy
has imagination.
Yeah, no, this guy was the most stable. This guy was the most stable everything, because he would fucking like anything that you gave him, he would do. If you had coke, if you had heroin, he would do it, but not get addicted. So he did fucking everything. So and you know,
what the fuck did you just say? Doesn't make any sense.
Meaning like
he kept doing it, but he didn't get addicted. Motherfucker, that's addiction.
No. I mean, he would do it when it was available, but he wouldn't like go out of his way to buy it.
He wasn't sucking dick.
That's what
for
I mean.
The cocaine.
That's what I mean by like stable user.
Yeah,
you know. But the thing was,
he wasn't pimping himself out. Or
but the thing about the alcohol thing is, really, I never noticed, because how you were saying, like you were with a person who would always like party, so they always had a drink in their hand. Mm-hmm. So this friend of mine, we would always go to Mike's or we would do the podcast, and so we're drinking, Yeah. And then I went to Amsterdam with him, and dude, Day one. You know, you ever see those Blue Moon boots, those glass
Oh, I've
boots?
seen those, yeah.
Dude, day one, I'm not joking. Two glass boots before breakfast, during breakfast, brunch, lunch, in between lunch and dinner. Dude, by the time we hit fucking lunch, I felt like when I was a kid and sniffed permanent marker. Like I was so fucking sick.
Yeah.
I never been that nauseous in my I barely drink, but yeah.
Do you ever get nostalgic for the ways that you used to get high like that? You're like, I couldn't sniff a permanent marker today. It would do nothing to me.
Yeah.
It would be like, but like back then you'd be like, oh my God, this was amazing.
I get
You ever have moments where you know you're high now, but then you think back, maybe this is just for me, but then you think back, like, oh, at that moment when I was like 15, I was high. I just didn't know it because I inhaled whatever the fuck it was. Like when I was like 13
No,
14
no one was secondhand getting me stoned.
Okay,
man.
no, this is just a me story then.
Yeah.
All right, you guys know I grew up in a blue collar family, a bunch of painters, right?
Yeah.
Back in the early 90s, they had these trim
Wait.
packages. What, smart ass? What are you going to say?
You guys paint?
Huh?
You guys paint?
Yeah, we paint.
Oh, I didn't know that.
See, this is the bullshit. This is that bullshit. That's that bullshit.
I can't even tell if you're serious or not.
Exactly.
Rudy talks about how he's a painter like every fifth word.
Anyway, they had trim packages like this, right? We had to stain them, seal them, varnish them.
Yeah.
We have to wear these respirators. I didn't know that my cartridges went the fuck out. And this
Yeah.
is lacquer-based sealer.
Yeah.
So we have to pick up the doors very carefully through the keyhole thing for the door for the hole,
Yeah.
and then the hinge part, and we have to balance them in the other room against the wall. I was like 14 years old and working a Saturday with my grandfather, and then he finishes the door, pick up the door, go in the other room. I position it, I walk away, and all of a sudden you just hear boom, like the door fell on the floor, in the middle of the fucking room. There was no wall there.
Oh man.
And my grandfather walks in. He's like, "What the hell did you do?" I'm like, "There was a wall right there. I positioned the door to lean up against the wall. There was a wall right there." And he looks at me. He looks at my eyes and he's like, "You need to go outside." He goes, "When did your cartridges go out?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You're supposed to change." I'm like, "We're supposed to change these things?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
dude.
He's like, "I gave you that mask a year ago."
That's like poor
He's
people
like,
with
"How did
smoke
you
detectors.
Not, you're supposed to change. I'm like, he's like, "You're high." I'm like, I'm like 14. What are you talking about? I go outside, take a breath of fresh air, and you can feel the lacquer leaving my lungs.
Oh,
it was a gross fucking
gross.
feeling. And I'm just sitting there in my grandfather's van like this. He's like, "We can't go home, or your grandmother's gonna kill me." So we had to drive around. He tried to sober me up. I had no idea I was high.
Did you hurl?
So yeah, I did. Like I
Yeah.
inhaled a lot of that shit. I was fucked up.
Yeah.
I probably killed off like
Yeah, nothing like
0.5.
that ever happened to me. I would just always stick my head out the window when my dad would pump gas. I'd be like, oh, it smells so fucking good.
Dude, I had a similar situation. You know what Duro Rock is? You guys know what that is?
Duroc,
Yeah. The fake the flame thing.
No, it's like the
Oh,
cement layer.
Duralog. I'm thinking the Duralog.
No.
Duralog. I'm thinking of the fucking fake fire.
No, it's called Duroc. It's cement.
Yeah,
board.
shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cement
it's
board
cement
where you
board.
like you put it on places like a bathroom or a kitchen where the water doesn't go through.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it looks like drywall made out of cement, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that the way you cut it is you score it and then you just kind of like Bruce
Snap
Lee
it, yeah.
chop it, you know? So I had a miter saw. and I was still outside, but the blade was facing my face. So I just got a cloud of cement into my. I had a cold for like 2 weeks because that shit all that cement just went in my fucking lungs.
Yeah, that's not a cold, but like that's not the flu.
Well, that's what a cold is. You get like you infect your lungs.
Yeah, but you had dust in your lungs.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
worse. It's a carcinogen.
Bro, I had I'm trying to think of what I was gonna say. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Oh, I had a funny fucking story when we were talking about factory stories.
Yeah.
The job where I was the quality inspector in, when one of the days we were I started there like right as we were like coming out of the recession.
Yeah.
In like 09. And so by like the end of 09, beginning of 10, like business started picking up. It was an automotive supplier company. We made safety sensors.
Yeah.
And so they hired a whole bunch of like new temps and stuff like to fill the production line so they could start running like 2 full shifts because they were only running like like 12-hour days, but they would start like one shift was like 8 hours and another shift would come in and do like the back 8 hours.
Yeah.
But they overlapped like those 4 hours or whatever. And so now we're going to have like, no, we're going to have two, like it's 16 hours of operation. We're ramping up. So they hire all these new people and shit. And at this point, like I'm still working, at this point I'd already been a, quality inspector for like 6-7 months and stuff, and I'm starting to kind of transition into the office and like because they know my engineering background, so I'm kind of going back and forth and working with the engineers there and stuff. And we start having a day where like we're just not making our rate off the molding press. Like it's fucking the machine is stopping. The technicians like baffled. We're out there, me and the other engineer and the lead tech, and like the molding press goes and it's gotta like it will just stop. It will just stop.
Yeah.
Keep stopping. It'd go good for like a minute or two. We'd get it going, and then we'll just stop. We're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And so we're going. And then the next shift would go on and report, and they're like, they had no fucking issues. So we're like, what the hell is going on? So we're out there for like 2 days. Like, early part of the third day, that's when I look and I realize, like, oh shit. Because the molding press, the safety features in there, they're built in with light curtains. So anything that trips the light curtain, it stops the press.
Yeah.
Well, one of the new hires, this lady had like G-cup tits. So anytime, that's why they would run good for like 5-10 minutes because the operators, they would work in a team of 4 and they would rotate. So when she was in one of the stations where the light curtain was, her tits were going past the light curtain, stop the machine. But then then they would rotate out.
That would happen to me right now.
They would rotate out. And then when she was in the deflashing station where they're just taking the parts and getting all rid of the little extra molding material.
Yeah.
It would run good, but you would sit at the deflashing station for almost 30 minutes before you rotate out to the other one. So we're like, why the fuck do we get like 30 minutes good, 30 minutes bad, but no other shift is having this problem? And that's when I realized fucking this lady.
This big titty bitch.
Yeah. Her G-cup tits are breaking the light curtain. I'm like, I told the technician, I'm like, I don't know how to fucking say this to her. Like, I don't want to get in trouble. Like, it's like
You got to move these aside here.
yeah. So then we go to the fucking plant, the floor supervisor. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So he can go to the plant manager. He's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. And so we go to HR. All of us are sitting in HR, and HR is like, fuck. He's a dude too. He's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. He's like, let's pull in the supervisor, her direct report. Like, so we pulled in my boss, the one that I hated, didn't get along with. We're like, there's no delicate way to say this, but you're gonna have to tell Socorro, like,
that was her name.
Yeah, Socorro. It's like you're gonna have to tell her that, it's like, you know what? How about we just move her to another line and say that we need to like rotate people to try them out to see where they're. That we would nobody has to actually admit. It's like, and then among the line leaders, we'll just all agree to not put her there.
Yeah.
So we never had to actually tell her, but like it just was like we don't know how to fucking tell this lady her tits are this big and we're not making rate because her tits are a distraction.
Dude, so I was working at this it was my first, it was the first apprentice job I had in the sheet metal union, and it was such a cunt of a job. I'll never do that because it would start at 5 a.m. In Plainfield. So imagine getting up here every day, going to fucking Plainfield, and I couldn't fucking stand.
You had to get to Plainfield by 5
I
a.m.
had
There's
to
no
get
direct
there.
route from here to Plainfield.
There's not.
No, I had to
Basically,
take
like
fucking
59.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking brutal.
Yeah. And so I was working, and dude, everybody in that unit, it was all, dude, they called me N-word boy all the time because I was the only guy north of the Union Hall. They were all fucking hicks from Kankakee and Morris, Illinois, just fucking
fuck those unions. Yeah, I
just
know
white dudes with safety orange and camo.
Yeah.
One of the dude, the thing that made me laugh my ass out the most. One of the guys' side hustles, this fucking redneck was racing pigeons. Have you ever heard of that shit?
What the fuck?
Yeah, they put a tag on a pigeon's leg, and then they set them free like a what is it called, homing pigeon?
Yeah.
And then they have motherfuckers chilling bushes with shotguns to shoot down other people's pigeon. Like you pay $5,000 per pigeon, and then whoever wins gets like $100,000.
Damn.
So anyways, so the factory I was at, they had such old shit. Before they had like motion sensors, kind of like, when the belt at the grocery store, they would have kind of like, or like that, that table saw where they do the hot dog videos, instead of a laser, they had a button. So that kind of like, when you put something down, the button feels it and it starts moving, and it won't stop moving until the button is up. So we had we would make pipes from the size of this fucking microphone to the size of this room that you run a piece of sheet metal through, and there's like 3 rollers. And one of the guys there, he's one of those guys. He's too proud of his fucking job. He's like, "Oh, I'm staying overnight. I can't sleep. I'm going through shit with my wife." Dude, it sucked him in. It fucking sucked him in.
I was not expecting this to fucking happen in this story.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
It fucking, because the sensor, he like, it got him by the glove, then it sucked him all the way up to his shoulder. And I was gonna like make a bit about like he came to work of Van Gogh and he came out of Picasso, like. Yeah. But dude, that's like that shit. Yeah, fucking. That's the one sensor story I remember. I remember one time I was.
Yeah, that's not as fun as Big Tits.
It's not as fun as Big Tits. No. But
that was his karma. That's what that shit was.
Yeah,
Talk
dude.
to you about his fucking wants to be ex-wife, and the machine's like, nah.
Yeah.
Did he die?
Yeah, he died.
It crushed him.
He died.
Didn't rip off an arm. It sucked him in.
Well, he bled to death because it crushed his arm.
Oh, okay.
Because it like fucking like just. It's like putting
It
an
didn't crush his head.
No, it didn't reach that.
Okay.
Because he fucking bled out right there.
How long did it take him to die?
I have no idea. I have no fucking idea, dude.
What? Why wouldn't you be interested in that information,
bro? How long did it take him to die? What color polo shirt was he wearing?
Well, no, that's.
Did he stop by Dunkin' Donuts on the way over?
What kind of underwear was he wearing?
Did he shit his underwear?
I have no idea. You know what happened to me? Speaking of fucking like
Speaking of shitting your underwear.
Yeah, dude. Fucking okay. They had.
So I ate all those hot wings. Remember?
No, dude. At that job, they would because I'm the apprentice. They'd give me all the fucking bitch jobs. So
the grunt work, yeah.
We were making a pipe that's like the size of this like yoga. Well, a little bigger than like 4 of those yoga balls, and it was for a pot factory, and it's got to keep a certain humidity. So it was like
like marijuana.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's got to like they plan them. So it's got to be a little bit thicker to sustain the temperature or whatever. So I had to grind all the welds that are inside the pipe. So I got to crawl in there and grind. And dude, I was in like this Kama Sutra position, and I didn't realize because of the pipe, all the sparks were going in my ass crack, and I have a fucking hairy ass. I'm like, what the fuck is that smell? I set my fucking ass crack on fire, dude. Like,
nasty.
But yeah, I got another shitty story though. If you want to hear that, I had a family friend who was doing renovations, and this guy was crooked as fuck. He would like, this is what he'd do. He'd get like, cause he was a rich motherfucker growing up with his parents, so he would like buy auctioned off like 3 houses and be like, all right, this one needs a new porch, so I'm just gonna take down this rickety one and transport over to this one, like that type shit. And one time we had a job I was living in Chicago. We had a job out in like the northernmost part of Crystal Lake. I didn't know what the fuck to eat. I'm running late. I'm like, I'm gonna grab whatever the fuck I see in the fridge, and it was a 4-day-old steak. And I just ate that shit right away. And my boss, he was such a fucking white asshole. We had this running
white asshole
because
like because it was a bleached white asshole.
No, because he'd do this shit where like for all the helpers, he'd get like all the illegal guys behind Home Depot, and he'd play this game where if they'd ask, they'd be like, "Oh, where's the hammer?" He'd be like, "It's right here," and then he'd fart. Be like, "Oh, you need the screwdriver? It's right here," and then fart on him, So the first thing that fucking day, I'm like, "Yo, man, where's the pry bar?" And he farts. I go, "Thank you," and then I fart. I fucking shat my pants.
Ew!
That fucking
gross.
From that rotted steak,
Oh no!
And he's screaming at. He's like, "Motherfucker, you drove 2 fucking hours to shit your pants. Who the fuck is gonna?"
Gross.
It's like, who the fuck is gonna help me take? I'm like, dude, I'll stay if you need me to. He's like, no, that shit fucking stinks. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, gross.
And the worst part was, I had just bought a new car. Like it was used, but it was a new car off Craigslist. So I had to like put a hefty bag on and like potato sack hop with the swishing diarrhea. Oh man, yeah, dude, it was
nasty.
That is a gross story.
The other thing. Okay,
No,
bro, let me tell you.
Oh my god.
It's funny that you talk like the other. I remember I was working at this shop. It was like 80% Polacks, and they didn't speak English. And you know how like each shop has like their little rule of thumb culture that you kind of like got to get used to fit in, whatever. Whenever it's slowed down,
Their vibe,
yeah,
as the
their
kids
vibe.
would say.
Yeah. They fucking good vibes only. But they would play whenever it's slowed down. The new people, you just gotta sweep shit, and they would play poker for hours behind the machines. So there's one guy, I used to call him Polish Dr. Evil because he looked just like him. And he fucking, dude, he was missing for like 40. We didn't know what happened. Dude, this fucking Polak, he was growing lettuce in his garden. And he's like, oh, I'm going to make myself a sandwich. So instead of taking the lettuce to the kitchen, he chopped the lettuce right there with a machete and just cut across like all his fucking veins in his forearm.
Holy shit.
He had like 30 stitches.
How?
Now, he was you know what spot welding is?
Yeah, I know that.
He was the main spot welder, but he's such a fucking he's like such a fresh off the boat Polak. He didn't know any welding supply stores to buy gloves, and they made you buy your own. So he like the moment his stitches started closing up, he comes into work and he's just got like an Elmo glove and a Cookie Monster oven mitt glove.
No, shut up.
So like
Shut up. That's amazing.
So like every day after that, every time we saw him, we'd be like, "Hello, how are you?" Like every fucking one. Like, oh man, you know another thing that reminds me of
that hurts.
yeah. I'm on you tickle if you want to work overtime. Like, no, but dude, another shop I worked at, I was like, I told you how like I was before Peter came. I was telling you like I'm on these fucking meds because my whole family died off in 2020. I don't know if I told you guys that.
You mentioned something about that.
So like, but before I went on meds, I was like, dude, I want to like exercise and meditate and shit. So I was working at this place where like during breaks, I would just fucking meditate. Cause dude, when any death that happens, it's just scrambling your mind any downtime, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm fucking meditating. And the guy that I worked with, it was only two other welders. There's a guy, Jose, this Mexican guy who he's like, he made more bank being in a Narcorridos band in fucking on the weekends, you know? Fucking, and then there was this Puerto Rican guy, Epifanio, who was the biggest I mean, he would get high at work and then blow it into the vacuum that sucks up all the welding fumes. He was. So one day he saw me like meditating, and it offended. He's like, "Man, look at this fucking white boy doing some Santeria shit. They're gonna be fucking demons floating around."
Santeria.
Like he's like getting pissed off. I'm like, "No, dude, there's like a Buddhist thing." He's like, "No, I'm not with that
Did you
shit."
tell him that I don't practice Santeria?
I told him I'm
You
like,
ain't got no crystal ball.
yeah. And he fucking like he's getting all pissed off. So dude, the next day, like when because he's like, you can't do that. I'm like, dude, I have to because I'm going through shit. The next day, I was laughing my ass off because you ever see that meme with Batman backhanding Robin?
Yes.
Yeah.
He came in with a shirt that had that meme, and it just says "Trust God." And like every
That's amazing.
And every time he came by
Did he not speak English?
No, he spoke English.
Okay.
He was doing some passive aggressive shit. Like every time he walked by, he like pressed his chest out a little bit, just so for me to notice.
Like Batman slapping Robin, telling him to trust
Yeah.
God.
I'm like, dude, is that how they?
Kid, it was so funny to me at first, just the idea of it. Now I'm getting what a douche.
Yeah, dude.
What a fucking tool. This is the guy that got killed in the press?
No,
Damn it.
that's a different guy.
Is this guy still alive?
Yeah, this guy took my job. So
What a shame.
Okay. So that was my favorite fucking welding place. It was just chill as fuck. It was family owned business, so they treat you like a human. It's not like, oh man, I was 2 minutes late in the 90-day review, I'm fired. So, but what happened is they fired this Epifanio guy because he wanted a fucking raise. They're like, dude, this is the highest rate welder that we have. So he threatened him for the fourth time that he left. And dude, he tried being in the Nicor gas union. And at this job, like I said, when it's slow, they would tell you watch Netflix. So he would watch Netflix and smoke blunts and blow it in the fumes thing. It was the only job I ever heard somebody say that, because what they were doing is they didn't want, okay, so like there's assembly, right? Then there's spot welding, and then it goes to welding. So they didn't want to start shit with the other departments like, yo, you better hurry up because these motherfucking welders are going fast, you know?
Yeah.
So they would there was the only place they'd say watch Netflix, but this Epifanio guy, he was used to sitting on his ass and watching Netflix. They go to Nicor, dude. You know what he had to do there as an apprentice? He's working third shift, shutting off people's gas in the hood, and you're not allowed to carry. Yeah, dude.
Fuck that.
He was telling us about it. He's like, people would just take the meter off and just put a toilet paper roll, so they're just getting free gas through there like the whole time. That's that cardboard fucking.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's the only thing standing in between an explosion is a fucking toilet paper roll, you know?
Damn.
Jesus.
And so what happened is I took his job. I was doing fucking amazing. I mean, they were gonna move me up to the office because I was helping out HR, train people in forklift and shit. And then he came back, and they're kind of like old school, so they gave him the job back.
Right.
So fucking sucks, but it's whatever, man. You know that, dude. So when you mentioned that glittery chick that you didn't get along with, the person you worked with, whatever, the
My boss?
Kardashian, yeah.
Perfume.
Okay, yeah. So when I was at that Gear Marie, the cuck job, right? They were going fucking wild with me because they hired me as a welder for $25 an hour. And then I was like, I'm not going to do overtime. And they're like, no, it said on your application you're willing to do it. I'm like, yeah, I'm willing to stay like an hour a day, not fucking 7 hours every day. You know?
Right, yeah.
Like I was trying to write a bit about it. Like when they put that on the application, like, are you willing to do overtime? You could put anything, you know, because mandatory overtime is illegal. You could put anything illegal on there. Are you willing to, you know, beat us off on Fridays? We get a little stressed out, you know? So you could put anything illegal. So anyways, I was getting driven nuts because they're like, well, you know, if you don't want to do overtime, we got to move you to assembly. And then I was in assembly for fucking 2 months. I'm like, well, if you don't want to do assembly, if you don't want to do overtime, we got to move you to fucking polishing, to grinding. So, dude, I'm in grinding. And this fucking guy.
So I've been grinding because I want to do shit.
Yeah. And this fucking guy, the guy.
Sorry, bro.
This was
Wasn't expecting that.
this was the worst job.
I'm sitting in jail, right? I'm sitting in jail. Okay, so
Yeah.
this fucking cop walks in.
This was the worst job in the shop because we had this thing. It was like what
This is where the guy cut his feet.
No. This is Gear
different
Marie.
grinding
This
department.
is the different grinding department.
Jesus.
I was a temp, so I worked at a new place
I'm trying
every
to-
3 months.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up here.
I know, man. No, but so
I'm still like 7 for 4 dead people behind.
yeah, I never had that kind of a grind, but no. So they put me in a grinding department, and they just had me doing like kind of like how you're saying like the push job. The push button job. I just got this job where I'm just like putting this thing on a conveyor, making sure it comes out right. Then the guy in the polishing booth quits. Polishing booth was, you know how like a chrome hitch looks? They give you like a fucking mild piece of steel, and you got to hold it. First you have to. There's like this crack rock brick of wax that you put in the canvas spinning, and then you got to fucking hold this metal until it's like with these canvas flaps, it'll fucking suck your arm in. And dude, that
Literal knob polishing.
that wax is so fucking bad for you. I got a cold right away.
The fumes, yeah.
Well, the
particles,
the
yeah.
particles from the wax, and I had a fucking Homer Simpson radiation suit. I had a fucking mask on, and I remember I got freaked out the first day because when I came home, my feet were black. So it went through the fucking suit, through my socks,
wow.
through my feet. So I'm like, imagine how much black wax I got in my lungs, I'm like, fuck this, I'm not doing this. And they're like, whoa, we're moving you back to welding. I'm like, I got hired here as welding. Like, that's the consequence. They're just like, and the funniest part was it was December 19th. And they had a quota that they had to fucking reach for the Christmas to reach out the shit. I'm just like, I'm not fucking working in that booth. And he's like, well then, you got to move back to welding, and we're paying you $18 an hour because you're not even welding. I'm like, I don't know how that makes sense. My mind is spinning so fucking much. Dude, it was the best fucking thing this was the most savage quit I ever did because, bro, I'm not joking. They put the HR lady in the booth because they had nobody.
Oh man.
The fucking she was like this Jersey Italian bro with like that glitter makeup and shit and like over perfume. They put her in the Homer Simpson radiation suit doing this, and then the part that made me laugh my ass off was like they gave every worker a free frozen turkey for like Christmas and shit, but all the temps that were like that didn't want theirs gave them to me. So I just got a Prius with like 7 fucking turkeys. Jesus. And they're screaming at me, "Hey, 1 per person," you know? And then my wife got mad because we had nowhere to fucking keep them frozen.
You don't have a fucking industrial freezer in your house.
No, we just kept them on the porch. We literally cooked a turkey for my cats.
That's amazing.
But yeah, man,
That's fucking funny.
I don't know where the fuck this went out.
We've been going for
no
idea.
Longest fucking podcast.
Like I know every conversation we've had, like I've been present in it, but I have no idea where we're like.
Yeah,
where it's going.
Yeah,
there's
like
no
a
format
winding
today.
It's
road.
almost 4:00.
Yeah.
What
you
the
wanna,
fuck?
you ready to call it? Yeah. No,
We've been
it's all
talking
good.
for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I know. It goes quick, dude. Like, all right, guys. Well, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to like? Fucking Rudy and Moonlight.
Oh yeah, there's I host the Moonlight Comedy Showcase, which is now moved to Thursdays. That's going to be special. Then also the Moonlight Comedy All Stars, which will be on September 7th. I'm hosting. It's a cool lineup. It's got Mike Maxwell.
Is it like the best of?
So, yeah, that's not the showcase. That's more for like seasoned comedians. Comedians have been around for
Yeah.
Yeah, so each of them do 50. There's 5 comics.
It's for the journeyman of the comedy.
Right, yeah. So they do like 15 minutes each. So I'm really excited for that. It's going to be on Saturday, September 7th at the Moonlight Theater in St. Charles.
What about any plugs for Peter?
Yeah, I'm going to be at CG's August 16th and 17th, headlining there in Bolingbrook.
Nice.
CG's Comedy Club in Bolingbrook.
Nice.
You need a host? Oh, no, I won't start. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's not start again.
All
They're editing out.
All right.
It's gonna be weird. It's like, yeah, I'll be at CG. He uses AI to fill in my voice.
You need a guest spot?